Hello and welcome back to day 6 of the Aquatics GB Swimming Championships. It is the last day, and over the past week we have had 45 gold medals handed out, 14 British records broken, and 19 athletes have confirmed their names to be on that plane to Singapore for the World Championships in the summer. Let's see who else is going to add their name on day 6. Well, these athletes will certainly be hoping to do that. Freya Anderson hasn't yet confirmed her place. She has her chance today in the women's 100 free. There's Jimmy Guy. We've got some massive names rounding off the night in the men's 200 free as well. And there we go. There's Will Ellard as well, hoping to once again get himself on that podium. And then there's that man, Matt Richards, will be making a splash tonight as well, I am sure. Let's see what we've got coming up then on day 6. Here is the schedule. Take a look at this. The men's 50-metre butterfly. We've got the women's 800-metre freestyle, followed by the men's 200-metre backstroke, which will be really interesting. We've got the women's 100-metre breast, then the women's 100 freestyle, and then to finish the night, as always, at the British Championships, it is the highly anticipated men's 200-metre freestyle. Joining me, though, before we go through all of that, is Steve Tigg and Rob Aubrey, who are the swimming head coaches. Guys, thanks so much for taking the time. Steve, I'm going to come to you first. Can you just explain for everybody at home what exactly your job entails?
Absolutely. Swimming's a large participation sport. We are decentralised throughout the UK in terms of where our swimmers are. And one of the key responsibilities for myself as a head coach is to ensure that we set direction, that we coordinate and plan any national activity together with our lead coaches, just to make sure that our processes are optimal and that we're focused on going in the same direction as we travel through the journey towards each Olympic Games.
And Rob, you've got a similar role, haven't you, on the para side of things? Talk us through that, because para swimming has been incredibly successful recently, particularly in Paris.
Yeah, so we've got our National Performance Centre in Manchester, where we've got a nucleus of athletes that train from Manchester. But a large proportion of athletes are spread across the country, so across the 4 home nations. So we work really hard with those home programmes to really develop those athletes coming through the system and find the best place for them to be, where they're best supported, whether that's in their home environment or with us in Manchester.
And Steve, you've only been in this role for not very long, have you? How are you finding it? Are you settling in okay?
Yeah, it's really exciting, and it's a massive privilege to take on board the role. It is something that I'm learning as I go. It does stretch you and it does challenge you, but we've had a terrific history of success in swimming, and I'm really keen and eager to work with the coaches and the wider AGB community across the disciplines and see how we can take the sport forward.
Yeah, it's really exciting times, isn't it, for Aquatics GB? Particularly exciting because one of the swimmers has really stood out to me today this week is Jacob Mills, just 17 years old. He's really impressed. I know he's been on your radar for a very long time, Steve, but has he sort of surprised you as well?
I think the speed and the composure that he's demonstrated, absolutely. To enter the 100 freestyle event, which is a really tough one from a psychological point of view, and be able to deliver a performance that was faster than his heat, given it was so quick early on in the day, is really, really impressive. He's got a huge amount of confidence, but a massive amount of humility, and he's a credit to his parents and his coaches.
It must have been quite an overwhelming week for him, though. He's still so young and he's done so incredibly well, but he's dealt with it so well. Rob, let's talk about Faye Rogers from the para side, because from my perspective, I've absolutely loved watching her and talking to her. She has got a world record. She's broken European records this week, British records. Here she is. What is it that makes her such a special athlete?
I think for those who are watching her, I think especially one of her first events, the 200 fly, we saw her compete against people that she used to compete with before she had her accident. So not only is she competing on a level playing field of our Olympic counterparts, she's actually beating them, causing that world record and actually making the time in the 100 split. So she's had a fantastic week.
Yeah, she really, really has. And she's got a fantastic story as well, hasn't she? But what's your aims for the rest of the season then, Rob? What do you want to achieve?
So here in London, we're in phase 1, where we select people that have gone under the time. Our times are really tough. And then we're looking for those people who needed a bit longer rest after Paris. They're just getting back into the swing of things and in training. So we'll have our second selection in the summer, where we'll continue training in Manchester and then go out to Singapore in September.
Steve, same question for you. I know you're going to end it with going out to Singapore as well, but what do you want to see? What do you want to achieve?
Yeah, we're super excited about going to Singapore. It's another opportunity to travel east, and it's a World Championships. It's the pinnacle of the season. It's an excellent benchmark to test ourselves and our athletes against the best in the world, and that's what we'll be aiming to do, is go out there and swim as fast as possible and challenge to be on the podium, and then extract any learnings for the subsequent seasons.
Well, it is all very exciting. Both of you, thank you so much. Have you enjoyed your TV debuts?
Lovely, thank you.
Absolutely.
Good. Right, let's take a look at those 19 athletes then that have secured their spots at the Singapore World Championships. You can see the names in pink were pre-selected because they won medals in Paris at the Olympics. But the ones in blue are the ones that have secured their spots here in London, which is very exciting. You can see Holly McGill there. She's got TBC by her name. She actually came second, but she was under the time, so she will be under consideration. And one of those names on there, Katie Shanahan, is actually joining me on the sofa now. Katie, thanks so much for joining us. You have had a ridiculously successful week, haven't you? You've won 2 gold medals and a silver yesterday in the 200 IM. How do you round it up?
I mean, I'm over the moon with how I've swam this week. Definitely, I was looking forward to this week, and I was looking forward to coming in and racing. Training's been going quite well, so I was looking forward to it, and yeah, I'm just really happy to have gotten the 2 times I needed to, and yeah, to come away with going in the flight to Singapore for Worlds.
It looks like you've had quite a few really comfortable swims. Like I said, you've got those 2 golds in the back, which is your favourite, isn't it? What are you going to work on between now and the Worlds in Singapore? What are the little improvements that you can make?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's quite a lot to work on, which is always a good thing. To start, some of my skills, my technique, some of my underwaters, my starts type thing, because when I'm up against the likes of the Australians and Americans, they have the best in the world, so that type of thing, and also maybe a bit more speed from 100 backstroke. So yeah, still quite a lot to work on, which is always a good thing.
It is always a good thing. How do you work on that though? How do you increase that power?
I mean, definitely by just kind of working on like my strokes and stuff, and inside the water, outside the water, in the gym. It's a combination of all things, to be honest. So yeah.
And how would you say the women's team has looked at this championships?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got such a strong team. I think over the past 2 years it's kind of been quite a male focus and a male lead in the teams, but I feel like the past 2 years it's been coming up, and the women have just been so strong recently, and yeah, hopefully, I mean, I think Lauren Cox is the last female to get a medal at the World Champs in 50 back, and that was, after years and years of not getting any of the women's side. So hopefully this World Champs, maybe the women can get onto the podium. That would be really good.
Yeah, that would be brilliant to see, and it certainly feels like you're all building towards that. We're going to preview all of the amazing races that are coming up this evening with you in a second, but because it is the last day of the British Champs, we wanted to speak to the performance director Chris Spice to find out how he's feeling and how he's enjoyed this week. Chris, it's been about 12 months since we last spoke to you. Of course, we've had Paris Olympics in that time. How was it from your perspective?
Yeah, look, really positive. Incredibly challenging in lots of ways. Not the great environment in terms of the village, and we had COVID running through the team at the time. But in the end, the athletes were really, really great. They put all the distractions to one side, and in the big arena, they raced really, really well. So to come out of it with the medals we did, we're really happy.
Quite a few medals as well. Did quite well.
Yeah, we were good.
There's been quite a few changes since then, though. Talk us through those.
Yeah, look, at the start of the cycle, you always want to look back and the last cycle to see what we can do differently. So I've had a few changes in the leadership team, a few changes in our head coach, a few people have retired, and it'll be the same with the athletes. So we're really excited. We've got a new head coach, a new head of pathway, and a bright young future with some of the racing we've seen here has been phenomenal with our juniors coming through. So, yeah, it's front of the cycle. Couldn't be happier. It's been brilliant so far. Oh,
some amazing racing. Just very, very quickly, what do you want to achieve over the next year? What would a really good year look like?
A really good year would be swim well in Singapore. We obviously always want to do well at World Championships. And the second goal would be to find as many youngsters as possible, and that they're on the great journey for LA.
Well, good luck for that.
Thank you.
Chris Spice there seems like a very happy man, and he should be, shouldn't he, Katie, after how these weeks have gone. Let's preview some of the events tonight, and we've picked three of them, three of the really big, exciting ones. We'll start with the men's 200 back, Katie. I have no idea which way this is going to go. It is so close, but here's Johnny Marshall. He's yet to get himself on that team. Do you think he could do it in this?
Yeah, you know, I mean, his 100 backstroke was so good at the start of the week, and I know I spoke to him after, and he was a little bit disappointed with time. He was looking for a PB in that, so I'm sure tonight he'll be a keen bean to be getting his hand on the wall and getting a PB, hopefully.
Yeah, and the next one is Luke Greenbank, who's definitely going to have something to say about that, isn't he? He's the British record holder. He's not on the team as well, so he's going to be going out tonight. This is his only chance.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's really hard at the end of the week, and it's his last chance type thing to get his hand in the ball and get that qualification time. But I know after last year, him coming second, he's really, really looking to get that win. And, you know, I know Luke well, and I know that he'll definitely do well tonight. You know, 200 back is his event, so he'll do everything he can to get his hand in the ball.
Ollie Morgan, I think, is going to want to get his hand on that wall first as well. He's been so good this week, hasn't he? And so fast, so strong. He broke the British record in the 100. Could he do it in the 200 as well?
Yeah, I mean, never say never with Ollie. I think he's proven time and time again that he's just so strong and he can rise up to the occasion in any event. And you know, that British record was top class at the start of the week, so definitely look out for him in this race.
Look, you love the backstroke, don't you? Just how difficult is the 200 back?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do argue and stuff that it's one of the hardest events out there. I mean, after some of the 400 IM, I can say it's probably not one of the hardest events, but you know, it's all about pace and then keeping strong. It's a hard one on the legs, but you know, these boys are professionals at it, so they know what they're doing.
What do you do, just very quickly? Do you go out hard and then try and settle and then finish hard? What's your strategy?
Yeah, I mean, over the years I've kind of had to start going out a bit quicker, especially when I'm racing some other girls from the rest of the world, because you know, the likes of Kelly McCune and Regan Smith are so strong in the first 100, so I've kind of learned I've had to start stronger, but I always trust my back end. I know that I'm able to come back strong, which is a good thing.
Okay, let's move on to that women's 100 free then, and Freya Anderson is going to have to go out hard because this is her only opportunity to make it onto that Singapore team. She was really disappointed earlier in the week, wasn't she? How's she feeling heading into this?
She's excited for tonight, I can tell you that. Obviously I'm sharing a flat with her this week and she's really looking forward to it. She likes 100 freestyle, and you know, I think the training that she's been doing and stuff has been going good, so I'm really rooting for her tonight. I know that she'll do well, and I know that she's going to give it her all.
This young girl here, Eva Akaro, has been phenomenal this week as well. What are you expecting to see from her in this?
Yeah, I mean, Eva, she's proven all week how well shaped she's in, and you know, who knows what she's going to do in this 100 freestyle. Her 50 freestyle was amazing, so she's definitely got that speed, so it'll be a really, really good race tonight with them all.
God, it's stacked as well, because you've got the likes of Abby Wood, Freya Colbert. It's going to be such a good race, that. And finally, let's talk about the men's 200 free then. This one, I said stacked earlier, this is really, really stacked, isn't it? No one knows how this is going to go. There's no Tom Dean. You've got James Guy in here that went off this morning, and he just looked fantastic.
100%. I mean, I watched it this morning, and I mean, we can see here that Jimmy's finish, he's just, it's like he's having a show in the park there. He's not kidding. So, yeah, I mean, obviously we can see Duncan there as well, and got like some Matt who'll be in the outside lane, and some of the younger boys in that race as well. So it'll be such a good race, and it's a race everyone looks forward to at the end of the week. Because
Matt Richards has, of course, booked his spot to Singapore already, but this is such a big race because there's one spot left in this. So Matt Richards is going to be going in with the pressure off, but this man here, Jack McMillan, he's going to need to have a good race, isn't he?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I trained with Jack in Stirling, and I know how hard he's been working as well and how much he wants that spot individually and also for the relay. So, you know, he'll be another one to definitely look out for tonight.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Katie.
No,
I hope you enjoy this evening. Now that you're not swimming, you can actually relax. Let's hand you over to our commentary team then of Andy Jameson and our Welsh rocket, Dan Jervis.
Thank you, Betty. It's a great night, this, isn't it? It is the final night. It is night 6, and it's absolutely stacked. Really looking forward to all the races. The last one's going to be a ripper, absolute ripper. The quality of men's 200 metres freestyle in Britain at the moment is off the scale brilliant. Which are you looking forward to the most tonight, Jen?
Oh, not without Andy. Oh, well, 200 free's got to take it from me. I can't wait for the distance event as well.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic, and it really is. Well, this is the junior final of the men's 50 metres butterfly. And let me tell you, I'm joined by a superstar. It is Mark Foster, 8 times world record holder, 6 times world champion, including in this event. Mark Foster, welcome to the commentary box.
Thanks for having me.
Well, it is a 50 fly, so it might be a very few words, but really looking forward to this. The first one is the junior final. 2 Mount Kelly guys in 2 and 3 there. Tactically, how did you go about attacking a 50 fly, Mark?
For me, I mean, a lot of people think it's just 50 metres, you just go for it. But for me, it was always like controlling my energy at the beginning of the race. So the first 3 or 4 strokes, I tried to say to myself, easy, and then build into it. You're never going easy because your adrenaline's flowing and you're going for it. So I just had to calm myself down, because when you try a little bit too hard at the beginning, you slip water and you don't grip it.
Well, it'll be fascinating to see if they can do a Mark Foster here, world record holder, world champion on the 50 metres butterfly. Ethan Soppert Moss of Corby, fastest seed, the 16-year-old in lane 4. Cheng Duan of Royal Tunbridge Wells in 5. Matthew Hamilton in 6. 2 Mount Kelly swimmers in 2 and 3. Junior final, 50 fly. And they need that great start that Mark Foster was talking about. And let's have a look at this start, Mark, see how they go.
Looking really good actually in the middle. Ethan's a little bit behind. Obviously he's going to pick it up towards the end. Between the 8 of them, only 0.5 per second from this morning, which, as we know, can be just on the finish.
Well, it's very close indeed. And look at this, up in 2 and 3. It looks like Thomas Parrott and Joseph Way, the 2 Mount Kelly swimmers, going well. Have they come back in the centre? It's really close. It is, in fact, Ethan Soppert Moss came back. Well, goodness me, those last 3 strokes, he just surged forward, the 16-year-old. Ended up winning it by 3/100ths of a second, and only 5/100ths split the top 3. Ethan Soppert Moss got the touch, with Cheng Duan second and Matthew Hamilton third. My goodness me, that was close, Mark.
It was a race, 500ths of a second from first to third. And I said there, on the finish and the critical elements make the huge differences. He was behind, built up and came through at the end. That boy is only 16, and 2 years at that time of their life is a big gap.
It's a massive gap, isn't it? Ethan Soppert Moss Corby, the 16-year-old, wins the junior final of the men's 50 fly, 24.56. Cheng Duan second, 3/100ths back and 2/100ths back from him. Matthew Hamilton in third. The 2 Mount Kelly swimmers swam very well, sub 25. In fact, the top 6 all up sub 25. What a junior final that was. Well, straight into the next race. It is a para final. It's the men's 50 fly, and Paul Noble again joins us. Paul, take us through this one.
Thanks, Andy. There is only one para swimmer in this final, and here he is, Bruce D. 34.88 in qualification. 34.02 is his lifetime best. Let's see what Bruce can do. His 50 butterfly is an event in para program. It's conducted for classes S1 to S7. So Britain at the moment have only got Bruce D as a representative in this one, so let's hope for him to have a good swim this afternoon. He's got a big fan club. There we are, right on cue. There we go, go Bruce D. They've come to watch Bruce. Friends and family. Not all friends and family, just people coming in to support this man, Bruce D. So let's hope that the Aquatic Centre roof lifts off for this young man.
Take your marks.
Bruce D in the final of the men's multi-classification, 50 metres butterfly. It's a good start. He worked well under the water there. He is an athlete, of course, with short stature. So trying to get extension at the front of that stroke, very difficult for Bruce, but he's got a great undulating stroke there, keeping his head down. He's doing a good job. Let's see if he can dip under his lifetime best of 34.02. He's been there or thereabouts at his best times all week, just missing out. I wonder if he can finish on a high. Look at this, head down, and it is 33.75, a lifetime best for Bruce D, and he's delighted with that one. Well done, Bruce D. What a way to finish. Great stuff. I've got two great butterflies alongside me. What do you think of that, guys?
I've got to tell you, the discipline. He breathed 4s, then he breathed 5s, then he breathed 6 until the very last stroke mark. Oh,
he actually breathed. Well, he didn't breathe. He had his head up on the finish at the end there. But what I loved more than anything was, if you look at his timing at the front of the stroke, back of the stroke, and that hip action, creating an awful lot of undulation and great kick.
Fantastic, Bruce D. That was excellent. And there's a bit of advice from Mark Foster. Keep your head down in the last couple of metres. You'll get close to that 33-second mark. Bruce D is confirmed as the champion, and didn't he rise to the occasion? That was fantastic, and he's now with Betty on poolside.
What about that to kick off the medals this evening? Congratulations to Bruce D. And Bruce, we saw at the end when you touched that wall, you had a massive smile on your face. I'm assuming that's because you saw the time and realised that you got a lifetime best.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with that. Massive PB, yeah. So it couldn't have gone any better, to be honest.
Look, talk us through how's training been. What sort of shape are you in after the Paralympics in Paris?
Well, obviously I took like a 4-week break after Paris, and then that is my A-level year. I've been focusing more on education over performance, but it seems like doesn't really matter. It's gone out, works out quite well.
Yeah, well, it's worked out really, really well. Well, everybody give it up for Bruce D, who's won gold.
There's the fan club again. Go Bruce D, that is superb. They saw their man swim at this London Aquatics Centre, and he delivered. Absolutely fantastic for Bruce D. Great moment for him, and a great moment for Mo D's mum, who helps out in the Northampton Swimming Club where Bruce is based. There he is. Mo D can be very proud of Bruce D with that performance. That was superb. A great way to start the para events for this evening. Champion is Bruce D.
Well, fantastic swim from Bruce D. And next the race up is that men's 50 metres butterfly. And I can tell you that Betty caught up with Jacob Peters after his heat this morning.
Jacob, thanks for joining us. Look pretty good out there, pretty smooth, pretty comfortable.
Yeah, it was good heat swim. Didn't want to get too pumped up for this morning. Just saved myself a little bit for tonight. So yeah, just kind of like after a little bit of disappointment on Friday, reset, cut in, do the job in the heats, and let's see what I can do tonight.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how do you feel after the 100?
Yeah, obviously very disappointed. I knew I could have done a lot better than that. Just kind of a lot of things to take away. So yeah, but I think just need to refocus on that 50. Time for reflection next week when it's all done. But for the time being, job still to do. Just focus on that.
And what do you think you can do tonight?
I'd love to be around my PB, 22.8. I think that'd be good. That'd be. I was 4th in the world at that time a couple of years ago. So if I can get around that time today, it's a good sign of things to come.
Excellent. Well, good luck.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, he can reflect next week, but he's got a massive job here. This is a really exciting final, this men's 50 metres butterfly. He's fastest seed in lane number 4, but 2 from him in lane 6 is Ben Proud. And Mark Foster, well, 8 times world record holder, 6 times world champion in this event. Ben Proud's been world champion in this event. What is it that makes Ben Proud so quick on a 50 fly?
He's just got all the right ingredients. I mean, he's incredibly powerful, strong, and butterfly in particular, not like the freestyle where you can kind of muscle it. Fly, your tempo needs to be right, and his underwater kick, and I think his biggest attribute is his underwater kick is phenomenal. His fly kick is phenomenal. If you could swim freestyle with a fly kick, which I think could be the new stroke, this guy's untouchable.
Wouldn't that be something? Freestyle with fly kick. You must have tried it with a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, I wasn't very good at fly kicks.
No, it wasn't. Really? World record holder, world champion?
I used to muscle the fly.
Well, Jack Brown is just 17 years of age. He's still a junior. Silver on 100 fly. He's in lane 2. And this final of the men's 50 fly with Nick Finch of Chelsea Westminster up there in one. Here he is, pre-selected for this World Championship team. Won the World Championships in this event, the 50 fly in 2017. Brilliant silver medal at the Olympics on that 50 metres freestyle. He's the British record holder at 22.75, and he's going in lane 6, only 4th fastest after the heats this morning. It looks pretty pedestrian, I have to say. I think we'll see some explosive swims in this final. Josh Gammon in 3, then Lewis Fraser in 5, 6 on the 100 metres butterfly, and then Jacob Peters in 4. It's going to be quite an interesting head-to-head between the top two guys. Just 9/100s splitting Jacob Peters in 4 and Ben Proud. 9/100s split them on their best times.
On their best times, yes. And I mean, this is a qualification. This is the trials. How close does Ben get to his best, and how quick Jacob going to be? That's the thing. At this time, with the Worlds being 4 months away, you don't know. I mean, Jacob was good in the 100 fly. Ben's 150 freestyle was good. It wasn't great, and it could be a close race. And who knows, Fraser Lewis could get in the mix.
Well, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this pans out. That is Jacob Peters. So disappointed just to get the bronze. It was mighty close in that 100 fly, I've got to say. Hundredths in it. It could have gone anywhere. And here we go. The big final of the men's 50 metres butterfly. Peters is the fastest in 4 with the British record holder, and he's on super form. Won the 50 freestyle. Ben Proud in 6, British record holder on both. And it is a new Olympic event. You excited to see it in the Olympics, Mark?
I am. It's just about 30 years too late for me, but I am excited. It's about time. I mean, the 50 events are the most exciting events. They're the tightest events and the most exciting events. What they've got to do now is just basically concentrate on themselves. They can't put anyone else off. They can't slow anyone else down. They can only slow themselves down.
Cracking tattoos, look at that. That's Jacob Peters. He's in lane 4. He's the fastest seed. I've got to say, I thought there were some very measured swims in the heats this morning. I expect some absolute fireworks in this final. It's the men's 50 fly. Watch the start in 6 of Ben Proud. If he hits it, he's the best in the world at this.
Take your marks.
Men's 50 fly final at the British Championships 2025. A very good start indeed, but probably not the best, actually. I think Jacob Peters maybe had a slightly better one.
Yeah, Ben's one of the best starters in the world, so this can stay close to him. I mean, Ben's not even shaved for this, but it's not about shaved or unshaved, it's who wins.
Well, no breather it's going to be from Ben Proud. He's not going to breathe. He's going well at the moment, but he's got to get the touch. It's going to be tight. What a save. He glided in 23.21. 23.21, a tie for second place. Jacob Peters and Josh Gammon. Oh my word, well, Ben Proud nearly gave that one away. I mean, he's won it by 0.25, a quarter of a second, which is it's a long way, but wow, the glide, Mark.
The glide at the end, yes. I mean, this is about trying to execute your race. It doesn't matter. World Championship medals are not given away today. It's about qualifying, but it just shows you when they're under pressure. Ben's been 22.7, he's been half a second faster. Jacob Peters 22.8, half a second faster. When it comes to the final, it just shows you sometimes pressure gets in the way.
And what's going through your mind when you're half a stroke out and you do, oh my goodness, I've got to glide, I've got to glide, I've got to kick, I've got to glide.
But it's amazing, everything goes slow motion because that glide seems to take forever. Ben's always quick off the block. I think Jacob actually had the better start there, but you see Ben closest to us with the white hat on in lane 6, never breathes. He's so flat in the water. Look at that fly kick at the back, though.
Mark, oh my word. Well, that's an interesting, a very interesting finish for someone who's so good. He's been world champion. It can happen to the best. Well, Mark, I'm going to have to extricate you from the commentary box because you're presenting these medals.
I'm off.
Get on. Great to have you in the commentary box. And over to those medalists. Betty Glover.
Well, how about that? And it is that man, of course, isn't it? Ben Proud that takes the win. Ben, talk us through that race from your perspective, because the guys in commentary thought that you didn't have as good a start as you usually do.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit rusty all over the place, but, you know, with 50 fly, it always comes down to the finish, and, you know, it's good to have a close race. But, yeah, it's a new one that I'm trying to bring back. I haven't trained it for a long time, since, you know, 18 months or so it's going to be good to bring it back.
How is that time, sort of from your perspective, get that water out of your ear, from your perspective at this sort of part of the season?
Yeah, very, very standard. Really happy with that, and fly I do enjoy. So it's just about getting some training done and more racing, and yeah, that'll be good.
Well, brilliant. Well, we'll see you in Singapore then. Congratulations. Also, congratulations to Ben, Jacob, Josh.
What a race. Goodness me, 23.2, not as fast as I thought. Well, with a average start and a really average to poor finish, he still won by a quarter of a second, Ben Proud. Tie for silver, Jacob Peters and Josh Gammon. And here he is, little Mark, bless him, 6'6", and 8 times world record holder, 6 times world champion. Presenting the 2 silver medals to both Josh Gammon getting that medal there and Jacob Peters on the left-hand side. And then his good mate Ben Proud won the 50 freestyle already, silver medalist at the Olympic Games, and in that silver medal when he completed his full set of individual medals at major championships, gold at Worlds, gold at Commonwealths, gold at Europeans, and then a silver at the Olympics. And it's a really, really small, exclusive club, that. Ben Proud wins the 50 fly. Josh Gammon and Jacob Peters, the silver. Very good. Very, very good indeed. Wow. Well, love those 50s. So hard to call. In the end, it was a decent margin of victory, a quarter of a second. That's for the winner, Ben Proud.
Yeah, that was a great swim from Ben. So good. I mean, he's such a veteran at this event, and great swim there also from the other 2.
Indeed it was. Indeed it was. Tied for the silver medal, Josh Gammon, Jacob Peters. So here we go. The next event up is the women's 800 metres freestyle, and just giving a high five there to Ben Proud. He's just walking along like he hasn't done anything. So measured, so under control. That's phenomenal. It really is. And he's just chucking his hat into the crowd. Here we go. So City of Liverpool had a fantastic meet here. There's a City of Liverpool swimmer, Madison Renz, in lane 0. Also in 1, that was Lucy Parsons. Molly Baker in 7 in this, the final heat of the 800 metres freestyle. It's a heat declared winner event, so the first 4 heats were this morning. And so that's why we're using all 10 lanes here in the final. Normally in the final session you only use 8 lanes of the pool, but if it's a final heat, still under heat rules, so that's 10. Lucy Fox just come out. And 4th fastest for this final. Holly Wilson of City of Leeds, she goes in lane 3, 3rd fastest in. And we've got 8 juniors out of these 10 swimmers. Really very strong field from the junior side. And there, the fastest seed, Emily Bloxage, just turned 16. She's just won her 3rd straight 1500 metres national title. 3rd straight 1500, and she's just turned 16. Wow. Also won silver on the 400. Fleur Lewis is in 5, silver medalist on that 1500 metres freestyle. And I'm sitting next to the Welsh rocket, Dan Jervis, himself a double Olympian on this, on distance event on the 1500. His was, this is the 8, Olympic finalist on the 15. Looking forward to this one, Dan?
I love it. I love the strategy of 800 and 15.
I love it as well. I love listening to how you explain it, because I've never had a 1500 freestyler in the commentary box next to me. It's very, very interesting to hear how you do it, and how you look at it as well. So Emily Bloxage of City of Salford, she's the fastest seed. Not an awful lot between lanes 4 and 5. That's Bloxage and Fleur Lewis from Loughborough University in terms of lifetime bests. It's 3.5 seconds, which, if that pans out, will be a decent, maybe about 6 or 7 metres. But normally in races like this, one drags another through, and let's hope we have a good final here. You were talking this morning about how quick it takes for you to get into your rhythm. How fast would you like these women to be, or expect these women to be settling into the rhythm before they get into the proper racing on this 800?
Well, in a distance event, you do need to try and find the rhythm as quickly as possible. It's hard to do in the first 50 because after the dive, you're already 2 meters ahead, and by the time you come up, you're 12 meters into the 50, so you can't really start your stroke counting. But these girls will look to have their rhythm set for the next 700, I guess, after the first or second 100. Going out very strong in lane 4 is Amelie Bloxage in a 1:01.87. She's looking very good. We are expecting her and Fleur Lewis to have a bit of a fight in this, Andy.
A proverbial fight. I'd say there's a lane line between them. Have you ever seen any? No, don't really. Open water, of course, they do actually give each other a little cheeky, should we call it a nudge? I mean, it's quite physical, the open water. I remember in the Tokyo Olympics, Hector Pardo had an absolute shine of a black eye, and I think he actually thought he'd lost his eye. I mean, it was horrible looking. In fact, a boxer tweeted to say that is a bad injury, a bad eye injury, and when a boxer tweets you to tell you that, you know it's an absolute humdinger. So this is the 200 metres turn. So getting into their rhythm, sort of starting to get there now, Dan?
Yeah, I think so. These girls have a very high stroke rate. Obviously, it's not as quick as we just saw Ben Proud do, but it is quite a high stroke rate, and we are seeing Amelie Bloxage on the 200 metre mark go out in a 2:06. I think she's on PB there. Her last 50 was a little bit quicker than the 50 before. That was a 32.19. She is pulling away from the girls around her slowly, but you never know what can happen in the second half of this race.
She's not far off what she was last year, so this is a very good start when she got the gold. Already won the 1500 metres gold medal here, her third straight 1500 metres gold medal. She's the European junior champion on the 1500 freestyle, and if she doesn't get selected for the World Championships, and she may well do as a discretionary pick, if she doesn't do the qualifying time here, I'm sure she'll be going to European juniors, and who's to say she won't win that one again.
These girls actually have someone British to look up to in this event. You know, Britain has got history in the 800 freestyle. Rebecca Adlington's famous Olympic gold medal back in the Beijing Olympics in 2008 can be a great inspiration for these ladies. A fun fact, our friend Andy here actually commentated on that race.
Yeah, I was a veteran commentator at that time as well, 2008. Oh, it was absolutely wonderful. The fun thing about that, I think, Dan, was that the 400 came first, and we just didn't really expect Becky to win it, and she did, with Joe Jackson winning the bronze, and then, the 800 was just a procession. And this is starting to look a little bit processionary as well. This is very interesting. A big race for silver, bronze, 4th and 5th emerging in lane 5. That's Fleur Lewis. Lucy Fox right next to her in 6. That's 5 and 6, and then also up there in 3, Holly Wilson with Abby Roscoe next to her. So those 4 looking at silver, bronze, 4th and 5th, but no doubt about the leader. And this coming into the halfway mark of this final of the 800 metres freestyle, Dan, and doesn't Amelie Bloxage look good?
32.63 on that last 50. It'll be interesting to see what she goes at the 400 mark. The 350 to the 400 metre length to a 32.64. She's averaging about the same time. She's settled into a good rhythm here. She's looking really great. We have seen Fleur Lewis pull away a little bit from Lucy Fox. I thought we were going to see a little bit of a catfight then, but that still could come. Back in Swansea where I trained, we used to have a saying, use each other to push each other. If we see 2 girls next to each other fighting each other on this race, they could push each other to better times.
Well, I think that's going to happen, because I'm starting to see lane 6, Lucy Fox, just starting to pull up to the, the feet of Fleur Lewis. There's 13 seconds between these two lifetimes best. Lucy Fox in 6, Fleur Lewis in 5. And, there's still no doubt about the leader. This is the 500 metre turn, so 10 lengths down and just 6 lengths to go. in this final of the women's 800 metres freestyle. Amelie Bloxage looking very good indeed, the 16-year-old right in the centre. Second at the moment is Fleur Lewis, and Mummy Bloxage just to the left looking very, very nervous indeed, but she doesn't need to be. This is an excellent swim.
Yeah, she's swimming this very dominant, Amelie Bloxage. She's pulling away from the field. She's got a good 5-6 metre lead here on the 500 mark. Now, she will start to hurt with this 300 metres to go, but if she's paced it right, she can build through this last 250 metres, and she could do something really special here, especially on the last length.
Well, she could do. She's a little off the pace from last year. She turned in 4:20 at the 400, so she's likely to go somewhere around that 8:40 mark or so. She's grown an awful lot in the last 12 months. That sometimes is quite difficult to deal with. What happens when you grow?
Absolutely. Well, when you grow, your body's changing, and you have to try and find a different stroke. Now, obviously, when you're younger, your body's quite immature when you're younger, and as you grow older, you start to put muscle on, and it's all about finding that length as you grow bigger.
Well, it's a difficult phase for all kids growing, and sometimes it's really bizarre because you do so many meters, but you kind of lose where your hand is. It goes forward, it feels a bit floppy, and you're like, why is it not going in the right place? And it takes a really good coach-swimmer relationship, and just keep on working and don't panic, and you'll get through it. And then as soon as you get out the other side, all sorts of fireworks can go off. It's great fun, but just a difficult time through that growing phase, Dan.
Yeah, it can be. Also, coming out to that junior age into the open, you know, in juniors you are 14s race 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds race 15-year-olds. But once you get to that 18 open age group, you're open to the world. You're racing anyone, any age.
There you are. There's going to be a bell just coming up to denote 100 metres to go. In fact, European Aquatics have added an under-23s event, so it's the juniors, which is born 2007 to 2011, and then 2002 to 2006 born. They've added this under-23s to give that phase, that's junior to senior phase, something to go for, and see if they can get some medals in that phase before they really are fully senior.
Yes, and as you're watching this race now, you can hear the bell. That bell signals to the swimmer that they have 100 metres to go. Amelie Bloxage going into this last 5 metres of the penultimate length. Very, very good swim. 8:06. As you said earlier, she's a little bit behind pace of last year, but she has grown a lot, and she's really storming into this last 30 metres.
Well, she could well negative split this, you know. I think she was 4:20 at the 400, and she's got a very good chance here of going under 8:40, and that would be really quite special. It really would. She's got about 10 metres to go to Amelie Bloxage. She's already won gold on the 1,500 metres, silver on the 400. She's going to win gold on the 8, and look at that. Well, it's a great negative split. That's really mature way of swimming it. Wow. 8:37.9. That's really very, very impressive from Amelie Bloxage. Out in 4:20 and then 4:17 on the way back, and she's blowing kisses to her mum. It's wonderful to see. So gold to Bloxage, silver to Fleur Lewis, and bronze to Lucy Fox. But what a way to swim it. Super impressive for a 16-year-old to swim it like that.
Oh, absolutely. She is only 16. She's got years and years ahead of her. She's got so much practice to do. She looked good there, but with even more practice, she could be world dominant in this race.
Well, that's very impressive. And we were talking to Nathan Hilton, who's the distance freestyle lead, the marathon swimming lead this morning for Aquatics GB, and he was wanting to try and help coaches and swimmers achieve exactly that negative split, fast on the second half and the first, because he's noticing that that's how the big open water races are being won worldwide.
Yeah, I also think it is important. We can see the world in distance swimming moving on to negative split in their races. If you front place it, if you swim the first part of the race quicker, you do tend to die off on the second half. Now we are seeing Amelie Bloxage with amazing 8.37 take the gold in that. Fleur Lewis second, 8.42, followed by Lucy Fox of Loughborough Performance Centre winning the bronze.
Well, let's hear what Betty has to say to those three medalists.
What a swim that was. And it's another gold for Amelie Bloxage this week. Amelie, you won this title last year as well, of course, but I think it's fair to say that you've improved quite a lot within that space of a year. Talk us through sort of those improvements, I guess.
I've been trying to improve my turns because obviously on a 1500 you can take off quite a lot of time even if you do like one extra fly kick, and I've been trying to work on my kick on the last 50, but I was just too tired then.
Talk us through the strategy of that race, because you also had negative splits. So did you intend to do that?
No, I just try and take it out fast so that I can carry on the momentum through the race, and I don't mean to negative split. I always leave too much at the end, so I need to work on that.
What did your coach say to you before you went out there?
Just to try and widen the gap and just try and really push on the last 50 and the last 100. So I'm just really trying to work on kicking.
And also, I just want to say that I spoke to your mum during that race. She was incredibly nervous. She's been biting her nails. Is there anything you want to say to her?
Thank you.
Well, congratulations. Also, congratulations to Fleur and Lucy.
What a sweetheart, 16 years of age, she's just done the double, the 8 and the 1500 metres gold. Oh look, she's so proud of the fact that her mum's presenting the medals. Isn't that brilliant? Oh, fantastic. Nicola Bloxage on the left-hand side, there she is. Great fun. I had a good old chat with them just at the end of last year. Just two absolute superstars. Here's Lucy Fox of Loughborough Performance winning the bronze medal. Lovely smile from her as well. That's a great swim. 8.47. Right on her lifetime best. Fleur Lewis, she just won the silver in 8.42.3, but no doubt about the leader and the way she swam for such a youngster. Such maturity for a youngster. Wonderful to see. Well done. Well done. A second gold of these championships. Oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely. Well done. Mums and dads around the country, well, they are the unsung heroes. The taxi service getting up super early in the morning and again late at night.
Yeah, I'm hoping Amelie Bloxage is going to have a new medal cabinet, because she's going home with 3 pieces of silverware this week, Andy. She's got 2 gold and 1 silver.
Not a bad haul, is it? And 3 straight in a row. European junior champion in the 1500 freestyle. Also in the 5,000 metres open water. So already starting to make that crossover. And signing the champions board there. Here's the junior final next up of this men's 200 metres backstroke. And delighted again to be joined by Brodie Williams, Commonwealth champion from the Birmingham Commonwealth Games on this 200 metres backstroke. Not too bad on the silver, on the 100. Won a silver there as well. Welcome back to the commentary box, Brodie.
Yeah, it's good to be back, especially for what used to be the final day for me at the trials, and obviously my favourite event, 200 back. Yeah, it's nice to watch it and commentate on it.
Well, it certainly is, and I have to say I really enjoyed commentating on you to win that Commonwealth gold in Birmingham. It was a cracking race, wasn't it? Really was. Here we go. Here's the full lineup in this junior final. Daniel Ransom of City of Leeds in lane 4, the fastest seed. Fabulous swimmer as well in lane 5, Dean Fern. 7th on the big final, the 100 metres backstroke. One of the only juniors to be in that, so really great to see him do that. A couple of other Mount Kelly swimmers in here, Millfield School, Repton School, the schools really coming to the fore. We've got a fantastic set of school programmes. Repton in 8, part of that Jamie Main revolution at Repton. There's no juniors in the A final of this one, all in the B. And the junior qualification time can be done, 2:01.90. They're going to have to go a lifetime best to do it, though. Very possible. Seen it many times this week. The junior final of the men's 200 metres backstroke at this 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. Dan Ransom right in the centre for Leeds. Fastest qualifying 4, but there Brodie Williams in lane 5. Dean Fern, a super start. How did he do that so well underwater?
Yeah, no, he's actually a very good 50 fly swimmer, but obviously that sort of combo of doing fly and backstroke is definitely going to be a good underwater on Dean Fern. So yeah, definitely going to be potent off this turn, I'm sure, as well.
Well, he is using really good fly kicks underwater. You can see a little bit there. Used about 6 kicks on that one. Now, in this aquatic centre here, it's an utterly phenomenal centre, maybe apart from the roof, not conducive to swimming straight on the backstroke.
Yeah, no, definitely. The roof is like, yeah, it's a weird like wave. So I'm pretty sure the lines might be straight, but it's disorientating, isn't it? It's very unusual.
It is a little bit, and also those lights. When basically on backstroke, you do look up at the ceiling, and you try and go straight, and it is a little bit deceptive. But first over at the 100 metres mark, up there in lane 2, it's Toby Godson of Millfield gone out quickly. Still going well is Ransom in 4. With Dean Fern in 5, and also going very well as Finley Pope in 6 from Stockwell. So they've got to about the 130 metre mark now. What sort of thing will they be thinking of to try and bring this home, make sure they can deliver their best self right here?
For me, it would be, I would always try and prioritise saving just a little bit of legs for that final wall, because if you can get as far as you can off that final wall, it does propel you into the final 50. But yeah, it will be a case of holding the stroke and sort of gearing up now, ready for that final 50. Well,
really going well still as Toby Godson of Millfield, and he's going to try and hold on, but the charge coming, my goodness me, 5 of them all in a row, and it looks like they're maybe just going to overtake Toby, but it's a gutsy swim from him. Well done up to this mark. It looks like it may well be 5 Dean Fern who's going to get the touch. He stretches, he's got the touch as well by 1/100th of a second. Oh my goodness me. Well, that final 50, by far the fastest of the field, 29.64, and Dean Fern wins it by 1/100th of a second from Dan Ransom in 4. Fern in 5, Ransom in 4, and Finley Pope of Stockport gets 3rd. But what a close race, 2:01.67, and the fantastic news is the top 2 have gone under the junior qualification time for junior Europeans. So Dean Fern's done it and Daniel Ransom's done it. Brilliant news.
That's a funky double, 50 fly, 200 back. Have you heard of many people doing that?
Not at all, not at all. Did you go to the juniors, Brodie?
Yeah, I did. So my juniors were in Hungary, and I also went to World Juniors, which were in Indianapolis. Lovely place.
And how important, we just look at the results there, 2:01.67 to 2:01.68. So those top 2 guys underneath the 2:01.90. And well, I'll come back to that in a second, but this morning, Ollie Morgan spoke to Betty before, straight after that heat.
Ollie, solid out there. I imagine you're saving quite a lot in the tank for later.
Yeah, just come in, get the job done, use as little effort as possible, and yeah, hopefully be a lot quicker tonight.
How are you feeling this week, and what's preparation been like for this 200? Obviously, after your 100, you've been busy this week.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. Just trying to get as much rest as possible. You know, prioritise sleep when you can. Yeah, I had a day off. What was it? Actually, no, I didn't have a day off. Just an easy swim yesterday. Went and got some nice food. And yeah, come in this morning and get the job done.
Reckon you can beat another British record?
We'll give it a good go. Bit of bicarb, bit of caffeine. Yeah, see what happens.
Get it in you. Good luck.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, there is the ready room, and it's a cauldron of nerves, that place is. It really is. And joined again by Brodie Williams, the Commonwealth champion on this 200 metres backstroke in Birmingham. And very quickly, Brodie, making that leap from junior to senior, how important is it to go to the junior championships and learn from that to become a really good senior?
Yeah, no, definitely. You learn from the arena skills. Like, obviously, this is literally a cauldron of, you know, excitement and the lights and all the advertisement. You know, it really gets you ready for when you go to juniors and there's more atmosphere. Like, I'm in Hungary. Hungary loves swimming, and the noise. You know, you just have to adapt to it and learn for when you hopefully make senior teams.
And how did you go in the juniors?
Not bad. I think my European junior year early, I was semi-final and then World Junior final, so not bad.
Wow, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Well, this is interesting. Matthew Ward goes in lane number 6. He's had a fantastic meet. Bronze on the 100 metres backstroke, silver on the 2 AM. Who's coming out in lane 3? Look at this. Ollie Morgan, gold on the 50, gold on the 100. Absolutely on fire here. What can he do on this, the 200? Can he do the clean sweep? An astonishing British record on the 100 metres backstroke. 52.17. Would have won silver at the Olympic Games. Now, Johnny Marshall, let's watch him come out, the Florida Gator. Now, that apparently is a Florida chomp, a Gator chomp. The Gator chomp from the Floridas. He needs to get the individual time of a 1:57.28. He's got to go a huge lifetime best if he's going to do it. And he needs to get that Gator chomp going if he's going to do that qualification time. Here's Luke Greenbank, the fastest seed going into this, the final of the men's 200 metres backstroke. Absolutely super 200 backstroke. Olympic bronze medalist in Tokyo. Very, very unlucky in Paris. Just got disqualified by going a tiny bit, and it was a tiny bit too far underwater off the start. Just getting the adrenaline going off the start a little bit too much, and who's to say he wouldn't have won another medal 2 consecutive in a row. Greenbank's in 4, Luke. Greenbank's in 7, his brother Samuel. And up there in lane 2, Ollie Morgan of University of Birmingham. What do you think's going to happen here, Brodie?
I might have some insider knowledge. I believe Ollie has told one of my friends that he might go fast to 150, which will be very exciting.
Faster than what?
Fast to 150.
Oh, fast to 1. I thought you said he's going to go under 150. That's good. That's a world record.
Let's hope for that.
Wouldn't that be special? Fast to 150. Let's see what happens here. Greenbank's got a fantastic back end. Greenbank Luke. His brother's not bad as well. Ollie Morgan in 3. Johnny Marshall, well, he's got good speed and can come back in 5. The Florida Gator. Let's see what happens here. What a final. Morgan in 3. Luke Greenbank 4. Johnny Marshall 5. It is the final of the men's 200 metres backstroke, and Luke Greenbank right in the centre. Possibly the best start coming from Ollie Morgan. Ollie Morgan in lane number 3, gold on the 50, gold on the 200. And a lot of the guys very close to that 15-metre mark underwater. I think they're all okay, so that's great. That's Ollie Morgan. Well, Brodie, you did say you thought he might go pretty quick out to the 150. That's the 50 mark, and he's doing exactly that so far.
That is very fast for any viewers watching. That is very speedy. It'll be interesting to see if he can back it up on the second 100. But yeah, looking strong at the moment and really pulling away from the field.
Well, 55-58 is Luke Greenbank's 100 metres split. I think it's going to be way underneath that. It's just whether he can hold on. This is a phenomenal swim. 55.5, and he's gone 54.7. Okay, so he's 0.8 of a second under at the halfway mark, and he's working it as well. Look at the underwaters from the 2 guys in the middle as well. Luke Greenbank and Johnny Marshall. I've got to tell you, this is not over at the moment. It's definitely not over, because that first 100 super quick from Ollie Morgan. And then 4 and 5, Greenbank and Marshall starting to come back here. Really looking good.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's going to be a close finish because Luke is so good on that final 50. But I don't know whether Ollie is a massive lead.
Well, he's still under the British record pace at the 150 mark, and he's going well here still. He's testing himself as Ollie Morgan. Coming back as Luke Greenbank, though. This is an amazing swim. Absolutely extraordinary. The British record is held by Luke Greenbank. It's 154.4. But look at Greenbank come back now. Look at Greenbank. Greenbank's coming back at Morgan. Morgan in the red hat. In the black hat, it's Luke Greenbank. He's got 5 metres to go. It's going to be on the last touch. Oh, I think Morgan's got it. Both of them do the Singapore time. Well, I'm utterly delighted for the silver medalist. I've got to say, the silver medalist there, Luke Greenbank, has gone under the time. My goodness, he's smiling. That must have hurt unbelievably. But look at the smile on the face of Luke Greenbank. Oh, that's a fantastic. Well, the sweep is done. The 50, the 100, the 200, and the man in the red hat from Birmingham. Unbelievable. And look at the smile on the face of Luke Greenbank. Oh, my word. Oh, that's brilliant. He's got all three, the 1, 2, 3, the 50, the 100, the 200. Oh, my goodness. I think that's Matt Richards' his dad as well. They're all getting involved. This is wonderful stuff. But I've got to say, utterly delighted for Luke Greenbank. Well, he doesn't automatically go by coming second in under the consideration time for the World Championships, but I'll eat my hat if the selectors don't choose him to go. That was a brilliant swim. There is Morgan. Tell me how much pain he's in right now, Brodie Williams.
Yeah, that'll be a tough one. I'm actually going to give a shout out. The B final winner, Cam Brooker, would have come third there. So very interesting. But honestly, you can't take away from Ollie, and I'm so happy that Luke is on that, well, potentially on that plane. I'm sure he will be. He's way under the time.
I tell you what, if there was an alarm that we could see that would go off for the pain threshold, I think that would have gone off the top. I'm not sure if that's why his hat is red, but my goodness me. I'm so pleased for Luke Greenbank. Delighted for Morgan. A real display of world-class backstroke swimming here. Brilliant 50, an outstanding 100. Would have won a silver medal at the Olympic Games with the time he did on the 100 metres backstroke here, with a pretty stinky finish as well. And now he's won gold on the 200. Morgan wins gold, Luke Greenbank the silver, both of them underneath that consideration time for the World Championships. Can't wait to hear what they've got to say to Betty Glover.
Well, Ollie Morgan has only gone and got the big treble. Ollie, you did it last year as well. You've done it this year. You were almost 2 seconds under that Singapore time. Talk us through that race, because you went so fast at the beginning. Yeah, that was kind of the game plan coming in. Use that easy speed. Certainly wasn't easy, but yeah, just try and then survive against these boys. Yeah, it's not nice having Luke chasing you down that back 50, but yeah, it's credit to everyone that's in that field, you know. The backstroke in Britain's, really coming along. And yeah, it's nice to have these boys pushing me. You went out 54.7. What does that feel like? I would say nice and easy, but it's definitely not. Yeah, I was kind of paying for it, I think, down that back 50, but that was kind of the game plan coming in. It was the game plan last year, but then, kind of wussed out of it a bit, but just thought I'd send it. Did you sort of regret it a little bit towards that very end? No, it was quite nice. You know, seeing the other lads then trying to come back at me, it kind of, drove me on. And just being able to control it from the front was quite nice. Well, congratulations, phenomenal race. Luke, I just want to quickly talk to you as well. Well done, silver medal. And you were also under that Singapore time, which is brilliant. So you've put yourself in a brilliant place for consideration. You must be so happy with that. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do here. I wanted to... Man down. I wanted to come here and, get myself on that team. And look, I haven't been back in a full season yet. I got back in properly in January, so hopefully after this we can go away and work towards the summer and improve that again. Well, perfect. Well done. Congratulations, Ollie. I hope you're okay and I hope you can walk. Everyone give it up as well for Johnny Marshall.
Well, some absolutely phenomenal swims there. A lifetime best by 0.7 of a second for Ollie Morgan to win that 200 metres backstroke at a 1:55.55, and a full second underneath the consideration time by Luke Greenbank to win the silver. And look who's presenting the finals. Matt Morgan, Ollie's dad, presenting the bronze medal to Johnny Marshall of Carnegie and the University of Florida. The silver medal going to Luke Greenbank. A brilliant swim, utterly delighted for him underneath that consideration time. And the selectors will have to consider him, but I don't think that's going to take very long at all. And Dad presents son with a gold medal at the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. And he's done the sweep, the 50, the 100 and the 200 metres backstroke, gold in each. A new lifetime best, and goes into that World Championships. As well, I think he's going to have a target on his back, because the world is going to have to look out for Ollie Morgan. Brodie Williams, thank you so much for joining us, Commonwealth champion. Fascinating to hear your insights and predicting that 150. That was a super insight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Kieran, for that insight. I won't give his surname, just not out him fully. But yeah, no, thank you for having me. And yeah, no, it's a real privilege to commentate on my own event. It's so strange, but yeah, no, loving it.
Fantastic. Brodie Williams, Commonwealth champion, men's 200 backstroke in that event, silver on the 100. And really, really great to see such world-class backstroke swimming. 155, 156, 2 consideration times for, well, qualifying times for the World Championships. I'm absolutely sure they'll both be going. Selectors will have to do it officially, though. Team Morgan, there you go. That's what it's all about. I tell you what, his dad's worked hard. He's been a taxi service, he's been a coach, he's been a psychologist, he's been a nutritionist, he's been a pick-me-up when you fall down. Well done, Matt Morgan, and the whole family. A lovely family, really lovely family. So, junior final women's 100 metres breaststroke, and joined again by Dan Jervis. Can't wait for these sprint breaststrokes. This one's going to be really fun, and then the big final with Anne Carrad-Evans. Can she break the British records? Charlotte Hardy of Millfield on 4. 3 more Mount Kelly swimmers. They've had a great meet, haven't they?
Well, absolutely, and they obviously train together, so that's very good.
The junior final of the women's 100 metres breaststroke, and the schools programme in Great Britain, the Centre of Excellence for High School Swimmers, brilliant, it's really brilliant. 3 from Mount Kelly, 1 from Repton, 1 from Millfield. It's a whole load of cracking schools around the countries now. And up there in lane number, well, I think it's in 7. Emily Smith started very well from Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson.
Also, we've seen a really good start from Imogen Miles into this first 50 of the 100. She's looking really strong, and so is Gabrielle from Mount Kelly. Coming first in that first 50 is lane 3, Gabrielle. She's looking great. She had a great underwater work there to give her the momentum into this last 30 metres.
Well, great momentum coming off the wall, certainly from Gabrielle Idle-Beavers, and she's going really well. Well, she attacked that turn, as you said there, Dan, used the momentum off the wall, and she's going well. Can she hold on here? She's got 15 metres to go, coming back in 6 very quickly is Imogen Miles of Sevenoaks. It looks like it might be her, and also coming back super fast in 4, the green hat of Charlotte Hardy, who's going to get the touch. Oh, and Imogen Miles gets it by 12 100ths of a second from Charlotte Hardy 2nd, and Gabrielle Idle-Beavers at Mount Kelly 3rd. But Imogen Miles just timed it to perfection, the 16-year-old.
0.12 between 1st and 2nd. Andy, tonight these swimmers are doing nothing for my nerves. I feel as if I need to go for a run.
Oh my goodness me, well, I've said she's 16, she's actually only 15 years of age. I'd say, please don't go for a run, because that'd leave me all on my own. Junior final, women's 100 metres breaststroke. Look at that, outstanding.
Oh, brilliant. Imogen Miles taking the gold medal there. Charlotte Hardy followed very closely, but 0.12 of a second, and Gabrielle Idle-Beavers in 3rd.
Wow. Well, the future's bright for British swimming, I've got to say. Excellent junior final there, won by a 15-year-old. And, well, here is the ready room, and the nerves in the ready room. It's one of those special places. It's very hard to describe the nerves in the ready room. And this next event, it is the para-athletes in the women's 100 metres breaststroke.
Yeah, Andy, from personal experience, you can lose or win a race in the call room.
Well, you certainly can. Did you enjoy the call room, Paul Noble, 15 times Paralympic medalist?
I did enjoy the call room most of the time, yeah. Absolutely. I was quite confident going in there. That was one of the things I worked on going into that, just being confident, showing my confidence around my competitors and everything. Didn't shut myself away or anything. Just stood up, made myself seen. So the swimmers coming out. We talked about a 15-year-old winning that last youth final. We had a 14-year-old leading them out, Iona Winifred. Saw Brock Whiston, Sienna Oxby. There is Bethany Firth back in the water again. Well, what a comeback for Bethany Firth. Missed the Paris Paralympics, gave birth to her daughter Charlotte, and she's back in the water again 8 months later. Olivia Newman-Baronius goes in lane number 3. She swam very well in the butterfly a couple of days ago. Louise Fides, the Paralympic champion in the 100 breaststroke in the SB14 class. next to the Paralympic champion in the SB13 class, the visually impaired swimmer Rebecca Redfern. Well, 2 Paralympic champions in the centre of the pool. World record holder also there, Brock Whiston up there in lane number 2 in the SB8 class. There are the classifications for these para swimmers. Iona Winifred up at the top, SB7. She achieved a Singapore qualification standard in the heats for her classification, as did Brock Whiston, as did Rebecca Redfern. 100 breaststroke. A great hunting ground for medals for the GB para team. And some of the world's very best para 100 breaststrokers right here in this final. Rebecca Redfern, a centre lane with the red cap. Full set of Paralympic medals in the 100 breaststroke. Rebecca Redfern, eventually it was gold in Paris, and she will be one of the favourites for this one in terms of the points. She had the biggest points total coming into this. Brock Whiston right up there at the top, one from the top, was also a very big points total. Again, it's the points are based on standard time for the swimmer's own classification, and the closest to that standard time, the higher number of points, and the higher number of points across the board will win the medals. So Redfern and Fiddis lead them out, the 2 Paralympic champions side by side. Bethany Firth, the world record holder, the British record holder, sorry, in the SB14 class, right in the mix as well. She hasn't made a qualification standard yet, Bethany Firth. Time she's looking for is 1:15.85. Might be a little bit of a stretch for her, but we'll see what she can do. Here comes Rebecca Redfern. What points total can she register? Can she go faster than her PB? It's a very close swim here from Rebecca Redfern. 1:14.27 for her. Only half a second outside her own British record. Great swim from her. Bethany Firth in an 8:15 points behind Louise Fiddis. Here comes Iona Winifred. Let's watch out for her time. 1:30.21 for Iona Winifred, and again that's just outside her own British record mark. Brock Whiston also with a big points total as well, but it does look like Rebecca Redfern, I think, might be top on the points here. 1:14.27 for Rebecca Redfern. There's Iona Winifred. Great swim from the 14-year-old. She was only 14 last week, but Rebecca Redfern, the visually impaired swimmer, yeah, she led from the start. Well, Rebecca Redfern swam in the Rio Paralympic Games. She swam in the Tokyo Paralympic Games. She was another one who gave birth to her son Patrick in 2020. So the delay of the Paralympic Games in Tokyo gave her a chance to compete in 2021. And she eventually struck gold in Paris last year. Louise Fiddis alongside her. There's the points. Rebecca Redfern confirmed as winning with 993 points. That is an incredibly quick time from Rebecca Redfern. Iona Winifred in second position there with 8:69, the young 14-year-old. That was an incredible swim. And Brock Whiston, well, she was disappointed last night just to dip outside the qualification standard. She's in this time, so Brock Whiston has achieved that Singapore qualification standard. Well done to Brock. Olivia Newman-Baronius just a tenth of a second outside. She already has the standard in 100 fly. But now come down to the medalists who are with Betty.
What a race, and congratulations to Rebecca. That was a brilliant time. You went 4 seconds under that Singapore qualification time. I know you already got the qualification time this morning in heat, so was that sort of like a free hit with the pressure off?
Yeah, exactly. It's actually 2 seconds quicker than I did in Paris as well. So, you know, we've mixed up my training this last couple of months, and it seems to be working, so...
Talk us through that race from your perspective then. What do you think went so well?
I just wanted to go out hard because I knew that if I took it easy down the first length, it would be slow coming back. So I thought just go out hard, treat it like 50, and then just die on the way back.
Well, it certainly worked for you. Everybody, give it up for Rebecca, Iona and Brock.
Oh, those were the 3 swimmers who achieved those Singapore qualification standards for the 100 breaststroke. Breaststroke in para swimming has been fantastic for the GB para squad, as the medals are about to be presented by Matthew Redfern, Rebecca's brother. Here he is, a member of the GB team in Paris. We saw him in the pool yesterday, actually. And he has his Paralympic teammates to congratulate. The medals in these multi-classification 100 breaststroke.
He's a big unit, Paul, isn't he?
He certainly is.
He's huge.
Yeah, he was delighted to make the Paralympic team last year. It was a late call-up from Matt Redfern, but he took advantage of that. And there he is with sister Rebecca. She'd be delighted and surprised, I think, to see him here making the presentations. But well done to Rebecca Redfern. Iona Werford, Brock Whiston.
Well, those multi-classification events, they keep on pumping out fantastic times, don't they? The next race up is the women's final of the 100 metres breaststroke. The fastest seed is the British record holder. She'll be in lane 4. I wonder if she can break the British record here. And after the heat this morning, she caught up with Betty Glover.
Thanks for joining us. That was a ridiculously fast heat. How much more have you got in the tank for tonight?
I think a decent amount. I just need to stay relaxed tonight. That's the mistake I made last year. I tensed up on that first 50 and paid for it on the way back. So just go out there and have fun tonight. The pressure's off now, so just going to race the other girls and see what I can do.
You are the British record holder, of course, aren't you? Do you think you can beat that time?
Hopefully. I got the British record in this pool, so it'd be nice to break it in the same pool. That's the aim, but yeah, we'll see. Be a good race tonight.
Perfect. Well, good luck.
Thank you. Good luck, Future and Howard.
Love that last comment. Good luck, Future and Harrod. Look at that, 65.54 she did in the Olympic trials last year. This is going to be a super final. I think we could well see another British record. Are you predicting British record or somewhere close?
I mean, it's hard to predict because everyone's swimming so quick, but I think we could see that from Anne Harrod. She just said the pressure's off. She's going to have some fun. Obviously, swim faster when you have fun.
Well, you certainly do. Here's Sienna Robinson up there in lane number 1 from Loughborough University. First in the 50 breaststroke B final. And then in 7 it's Amy Cowley of the City of Cardiff. 8th in the 50 final. Just outside of hers, Leah Schlossen going to Singapore in that 4x2 free relay. Also bronze on the 200 AM. Jasmine Carter's quick. Bronze on the 50 breaststroke. What can she do on this, the 100? Well, she's a real youngster, 16 years of age. Kamelia Stoimanova of Swansea University in lane number 6, 4th fastest seed, and then Anna Morgan of Edinburgh University, silver on the 50 breaststroke. So there's going to be some real speed on the lanes 2 and 3. Cara Hanlon going in lane number 5. Gold medalist on the 50 breaststroke, silver on the 200. But can anyone get anywhere near the British record holder already going to Singapore for the World Championships on this 200 metres breaststroke? Here's the 100. She was Olympic finalist, 6th in the Olympic final at her first Olympic Games. The British record is 65.54. Can she get underneath that? I'd love to see a British record here.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to seeing Cara swim here as well. She won gold in the 50 breaststroke, she won silver in the 200. Now both are going to meet in the middle. How's she going to deal with it?
And the nerves here. I always love watching the swimmers right behind the blocks. Hank Harrod Evans just making sure she's ready, taking her time to get her kit off. She's allowed to do that. Sitting on the blocks behind lane 4, you can just see them on the right-hand side there, just still relaxed, aware of what's going on, all ready to deliver something special.
Yeah, I love seeing the athletes' individual little routines before they race. Looking right at Howard Evans there. She looks like stone.
She does. Right on it. Absolutely ready. Pressure's off. She's qualified for the World Championships already on the 200. She can have some fun here. Good luck to future Ang Howard, she said after the heats. Well, here it is. Final of the women's 100 breaststroke. It's 2 legs breaststroke, that's it. It's the final of the women's 100 metres breaststroke at the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. And a super start right in the centre for Ang Howard Evans. She's got a lovely, powerful, quite long, rangy stroke on the start of this 100. And she's got to 30. 31.02 is the British record split. Dan, let's see how close she can get to that.
Yeah, very good start up in lane 1 from Sienna Robinson there. Ang Howard is waiting for no one. She finishes the first 50 in a 31.05. I think she's going to do this.
Well, she's 3/100ths outside of her British record pace, but she has great speed. She's been working on the back half, and let's see how she can do here. This is going to be very, very interesting. Starting to swim away a little bit. Cara Handler going with her in 5.
Yeah, Cara's got the strength from the 200 breaststroke. She does look as if she's catching her, but Ang Howard is just powering to this finish.
Well, this is a super swim. The time that we're looking for is the British record. That time is 1:05.54. It's her own British record, 1:05.54, 1:05.37. Well done. Oh, it's a super swim. A new British record, and that's just fantastic. And that's the reaction of the champion of the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. Ang Howard Evans wins gold on the women's 100 metres breaststroke. She's achieved the Singapore World Championships qualifying time, and she's just smashed her own British record that she set in this pool 12 months ago.
Oh, she is unstoppable, this competition, Andy. She just done future Ang Howard proud.
Love it. How great was that swim? Just a tiny bit off at that 53/100s, pretty much bang on, but then she came back 2/10 faster.
Well, she did say the pressure was off and she was just going to have some fun tonight. That's why we saw that. You see, with a lot of athletes, with nerves, that can take over sometimes. Nerves aren't always good. They can drain your energy. She went into this relaxed. She was deeply breathing before the race. She just looked mint.
Absolutely mint. Love these expressions from Dan Jervis. Well, she had a really good first 25, seemed to control it, and then started building from there. But at this stage, with 5 minutes to go, it was just all about locking in on the wall. Just changed the stroke a tiny bit. Perfectly done. Absolutely beautifully. Met the wall right on the end of the stretch, and it was a new British record for Ang Howard Evans. Wow, that was fantastic. Really, really brilliant. And look at that. Well, not sure it's relief at all. I think it's just utter delight. Absolute delight. A new British record, a qualification for the Singapore World Championships on this, the 100, adding to that 200 she's already done. Evans wins gold. Cara Handler the silver. Very good from her, got to say. And Anna Morgan the bronze. And let's hear what Betty's got to say to the British record holder.
Yeah, what a race that was. And we have got a new British record. You've done it. You beat your own British record. How do you feel after that? That was fast.
Oh, I'm so happy with that. I had a disappointing 100 last year. I didn't quite get the British record. So to go in tonight with no pressure to make the team, I still felt nervous just because I wanted to perform to my own personal standards. And I felt good this morning, but to touch the wall and see a British record in April was just so amazing.
You've had such a brilliant last 12 months. It feels like you're coming on so quickly. What do you put that down to?
Definitely Sterling. I think moving there has just brought the best out of me. You know, everyone just saw me race that, but you don't see the army behind me with the coaches, nutritionists, sports psych, gym coaches, and everyone works together to put my best performance down. It's not just me, but it's a whole team in Sterling.
Brilliantly said. Well done to that. And also, I just want to say, earlier you said to me, good luck to future Ang Howard. What would you like to say to the future Ang Howard now?
Good luck again.
In Singapore.
Yeah, good luck. Hope you break the British record again there.
Good luck. Well done. And well done to Cara and Anna as well.
Oh, here we go. Look at this surprise. Oh, this is great to see. She had no idea, did she? And Howard's mum is presenting the medals. What a great reaction. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's super. Well, Jill Evans in the white sweatshirt. Oh, that's super. So the bronze medal going to Anna Morgan. She did really well in all that hoopla of the gold and the qualification time, the British record. Anna Morgan did really well from Edinburgh University. The silver to her teammate, Edinburgh University's Cara Hanlon. And that's her mum. That is Jill Evans. Yeah, I tell you, looks like a sister to me. But anyway, there we go. She looks very young. A new British record. A Singapore World Championships qualification time for the winner, Angharad Evans of Stirling. What a swim. Wow. Did it beautifully as well. And Dan, you called it all the way through, nice and calm out, and then really worked it back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There was an amazing swim from Angharad. Now, I loved her interview. She talked about her army behind her up in Stirling and her family. You know, they often are the unsung heroes in these athletes' careers. You know, driving to and from training every day.
Indeed they do. The work they put in. Well done, mums and dads of the country. Thank you and congratulations. You're very much part of this success that British swimming has at the moment at Aquatics GB. Thanks for there's a chat. The future Angharad. Well, I wonder what's in the future for this young lady. Absolutely brilliant there, and just keeps on getting quicker and quicker. Lovely, lovely, lovely character. And I'm delighted to be joined by Anna Hopkin. Anna, British record holder on the 100 metres freestyle. Anna, we've just seen a British record on that women's 100 breaststroke. What was your analysis of that? It was a great swim, wasn't it?
Oh, fantastic. I mean, there was no doubt who was going to win that, but to go that fast, that must have given her so much confidence going into the summer, and she's one to look out for sure.
It's hard to know how far she can go, isn't it? And she just keeps on looking better and better and better.
Yeah, I mean, there's no telling what she'll do at Worlds, but I think it's going to be fast.
Well, this is the junior final of the women's 100 freestyle. And right in the centre there, Sky Carter of Basildon. Basildon, the Phoenix, is the fastest seed. Emma Wood in 5. In 3, it's Hannah Capron. Part of that Jamie Main revolution going on at Repton. Women's junior final, 100 metres freestyle. So Anna Hopkin, British record holder on this 100 metres freestyle. How are they going to approach this 100 freestyle here to get as quick as they can?
I mean, they've got to be controlled going out in the 50, but it's got to be that easy speed we've been talking about for a while, and it's going to be who's got a bit left in that last 15 and trying to stay ahead of each other coming down that last length. It's going to be pretty close, I think.
And there's a crop of fabulous youngsters now. Now that you've retired, I suppose the opportunity really is open to all these guys. And Sky Carter in the centre, super 100 freestyler.
Oh yeah, she's one of the young ones to look out for in the future, and she's really taken this event by storm, and you know, she's leading the way in this final here.
Well, 15 metres to go now, or 20 metres to go, I should say, in this junior final for the women's 100 metres freestyle. And Sky Carter of Basildon and Phoenix right in the centre, coming through at the end. She's timed this very well. Is she going to get the touch? Also, Compton of Wickham did well. Wow, that was close. Well, it was in the end Sky Carter, 55.64, right on her lifetime best. Excellent swim from her. And Annabelle Compton gets the silver, a new lifetime best. First time under 56 seconds, that's 55.70. And Emma Wood of City of Leeds in third, 55.78. That's another cracking swim, a new lifetime best from her. So really great swimming and beautifully timed. The tactics there really good, nice and comfortable out, but then really worked that second half to come here. 55.64, close though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, those top three were really close to each other. Sky Carter taking the win there with a 55.64, Annabelle Compton in second and Emma Wood in third. You couldn't really tell who was going to take it at the end, but fantastic swims from all three there.
That really was, and the attack down that second 50 from the winner, Sky Carter. Well, she is still a real youngster. straight over to Paul Noble and the para final of the women's 100 metres freestyle. And it's a full final, this one.
Yeah, it's quick fire tonight, Andy. These para finals, 100 freestyle. Coming out, led out there by Tully Kearney. Tully Kearney, what a record she has got. She achieved the qualification standard for Singapore this morning. Tully Kearney being the 14th para athlete to do so. Scarlett Humphrey goes in the outside lane, the S11 British record holder. It's Tony Shaw, Paralympic medalist in Tokyo, 4th place in the IM in Paris. Astrid Carroll, just 16 years of age. What can the visually impaired swimmer from Stockport Metro do? Can she improve her time again tonight? Evie Lambert has been on great form. She's faster than the British record holder Tony Shaw in qualification. She swims in the S9 class. Amber Haycock went to the European Championships last year for the GB team, the first of the 3 S10 swimmers. And there is the second S10 swimmer, Callie-Ann Warrington from Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson, trying to drop around about a second from her heat time to make that qualification standard. And Faye Rogers, well, there's been 12 para records at these championships so far. Faye Rogers has got 8 of them. What a week Faye Rogers is having. 3 S10s in the middle, trying to chase that qualification standard of 101.05. Faye Rogers already achieved that in a new British record time in this morning's heats. Evie Lambert, Tony Shaw side by side. Scarlett Humphrey and Tully Kearney, both British record holders on the outside lanes. We'll keep an eye out for their British record marks. Faye Rogers, the informed swimmer. This week, University of Aberdeen performance. Swim against Callie-Ann Warrington in the Paralympic Games in Paris last year. For Rogers. Well, can she set another record here at these championships? It'd be Faye Rogers' ninth record of the week. Absolutely incredible. 2 in the 200 fly, 2 in the 100 fly, 2 in the individual medley heat and final, 1 in the 400 free and 1 this morning in this 100 free. Faye Rogers is just about holding off the challenge now of Callie-Ann Warrington. It's just good for Callie-Ann. She's got to get a second quicker than she went this morning. Faye Rogers bang on British record pace here. It's going to be a real head-to-head between the 2 S10 swimmers. And Faye Rogers just edging it now ahead of Callie-Ann Warrington. Callie-Ann has really got to hold on here. Remember, the target they're both looking for is 101.05. Faye Rogers has the strength in the closing stages, though, in lane number 4. And she is a 101.10, just outside the time she did this morning. Callie-Ann Warrington, 102.33. Scarlett Humphrey at the top there, 110.31 for Scarlett Humphrey, and that could be inside her own British record. Well done, Scarlett. Tully Kearney comes in 120.90, but there is Faye Rogers. What a week she's had. It looks like Faye Rogers might have the highest number of points here, 861 points, ahead of her teammate Callie-Ann Warrington. They were side by side as they went up that final 50 metres, but it was Faye Rogers that had the strength just to hold off that challenge of Callie-Ann Warrington and claim, I think, the British title. What a fantastic swim again, just a 1/10 of a second outside the time she did this morning. So only the 8 records this week for Faye Rogers, not 9.
I tell you what, I'm astonished at just the quality of performance of swimming of these para-athletes. It just keeps on, every race pumping out European record, British record, world record.
Well, Faye Rogers has been absolutely superb. She has been the star swimmer of the meet for the para swimmers, and she showed her strength there in the closing stages. Scarlett Humphrey in the S11 class, the goggles will be checked and Scarlett Humphrey. If that result is confirmed, she will have a new British record. There's Faye Rogers. Another British title for her. We're still waiting for confirmation, but I think there it is. It has been confirmed. Faye Rogers, another British record. Sorry, a British title, not a record this time. She set the record in the morning. Callie-Ann Warrington takes second, and Scarlett Humphrey, a new British record for Scarlett Humphrey. I was speaking to Scarlett a little bit earlier on. She's been there or thereabouts, challenging her records this week. And she's got one. She's nailed one this time. The Humphrey sisters in the S11 class have been trying to rewrite the record books. They've been trying to get every single S11 record on the books in their names. I think they're down to 5 left now for long course and short course records. They reckon the 200 fly is the one they might not manage. Not in recent times anyway, but well done, Scarlett. She's got that record, British record, 1:10.31. It was a tenth of a second faster than her own time, 1:10.42. Callie-Ann Warrington, well, just outside that qualification time. But the para swimmers, of course, will have another chance to qualify for Singapore. The British summer meet in July will be the second opportunity for these para swimmers to finish. So a number of them took a break after Paris and hoping to be on top form when they come into that summer meet for the second chance of qualification. Just waiting for some of the swimmers to exit the water here before we can move on to the interviews and the medal presentation. There's a start. Faye Rogers with that arm impairment gets off the block very well, but Callie-Ann Warrington, very much a sprint specialist. Callie-Ann, she's very good at the 50 freestyle, but the strength of Faye Rogers, well, we saw it. 200 fly, 200 IM, 400 freestyle. Well, she can do absolutely everything. She's been a real star since she came into para swimming. She swam in the Olympic trials here in 2021. And I think the athletes are just about ready now. And we can now talk to the medalists with Betty.
Another brilliant race and another gold medal for Faye Rogers. You've been outstanding this week. Talk us through that one.
Thank you so much. It wasn't as fast as the heat. I think that was all in the finish. I kind of finished on a short stroke, which isn't great, but yeah, I'm really happy with the swim. I definitely went out a lot harder than I did this morning, thanks to Callie, like racing her, but yeah, no, I'm really happy with it, and I'm really happy with the whole week, so.
I was about to ask, how are you feeling about this whole week? Because you've broken 8 records this week, which is outstanding.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a little bit surreal. I did not expect to swim this well coming into it, and I think starting the week with that 200 fly gave me a lot of confidence, and yeah, I'm just really loving racing at the minute, which is nice, and I'm just enjoying every second.
We can tell. Congratulations. Everyone give it up for Faye, Callie-Ann Warrington and Scarlett Humphrey.
Well, Faye Rogers, an absolute star, and that's going to make the world para swimmers sit up and take notice of Faye Rogers if they haven't already. Sure, we'll see her on top form come Singapore in September for the World Para Swimming Championships. Nice to see Scarlett Humphrey as well dip under her British record time, and the medals being presented by Dawn Abraham, the para swimming lead physio. And this is Dawn's last working day with the para team. What a send-off. Callie-Ann put absolutely everything into that. Well, she'll be disappointed with the time, but she'll be back again in the summer. She'll have another bite at the cherry, Callie-Ann Warrington, I'm sure. But there is Faye Rogers, the champion, the multi-record breaker at these British Championships.
Well, more records for the para-athletes here at these 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. The next race up is the women's 100 metres freestyle. And going in that, actually in lane number 1 is Lucy Hope. She qualified for that World Championship team on the 4x2 free relay. And after her 100 metres freestyle heat this morning, she spoke to Betty Glover.
Lucy, that is a stacked field out there, isn't it? You're going in 7th fastest. How do you feel that went for you? And what's your plan tonight?
Yeah, it's been quite a long wait for that one for me. I had the tune on day 1 and then we've had 4 days off. So I think this morning it was just getting in, seeing what it felt like. And then, yeah, it'll be really quick to make top 4 tonight. But hopefully the 4 of us can get under that time for Singapore. So, yeah, it's real fun to race all those girls.
Yeah, it's all about making that relay, isn't it? But for you, how much more have you got in the tank that you can put into tonight?
Yeah, I think I've got a lot left in the tank. You know, been doing this for quite a while, so it's always important to come back faster in the evening. And like the crowd here is unreal, so I think tonight we'll see a lot of fast swims. It's a good evening to come and watch. So yeah, really excited for it.
Well, we're excited to see what you can do. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, I've got to say, I love her lane. Lane 1 outside, very difficult to see her. There's the British record. It's set and held by Anna Hopkin from the Tokyo Olympics, 22.75. And Anna Hopkin is sitting next to me. Anna, what are you expecting here from this firecracker 100 metres freestyle final?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, I think Eva was probably quite conservative taking it out this morning, so I think she can definitely get to 50 a lot quicker than she was this morning. Freya, we know, can close really quickly, so it's all going to come down to that last 15 metres, but then you can't write off anyone in this final, and I think everyone's going to be scrapping for that top 4.
Well, Eva Acaro in lane 5, second fastest C, but she's already won the 50 fly and the 50 metres freestyle. This is the 100, and there's Abby Wood. Well, she's going to Singapore, won gold on the 2 IM, gold on the 4 IM, bronze on the 200, so she's going on that. Erin Little, Mount Kelly in lane 2, next to Lucy Hope in 1. And what can she do on this 100 metres freestyle? Here's Freya Colbert. Well, she won gold on the 200 free, so her freestyle's going really well. Silver on the 4 IM, in which she is the world champion. And 4th on the 200 back, so versatile. Evie Davis of University of Stirling in lane 3 was in the B final of the 200 metres freestyle and is 3rd fastest into this final of the 100. He is a little superstar, Eva Acaro, the world short course junior record holder on the 50 metres freestyle. What can she do on this 100 free here long course? And there's Freya. Well, there's 4 of this team on the Singapore World Championship team already, but Freya not quite done it yet. Anna, what does she need to do here to make sure that she goes under that time?
I think Freya just needs to stay composed and nail her processes. She did a great heat this morning. That'll give her confidence going into tonight, and I think she's got a little bit more left in the tank, and I definitely think she can do it.
Well, I'd love to see her do it the time that she's looking for, 53.55. Certainly her lifetime best. She can do it, but it's just a little bit faster than her lifetime best than that qualifying time, so she can do it. But don't forget, there's lots of opportunities here. Individual 100 free, 4x100 free for women, mixed 4x100, medley relay as well. Lots of opportunity for the winner. Freya Anderson in 4. There's Acaro in 5. The final of the women's 100 metres freestyle, and it's absolutely stacked, and the winner could come from absolutely anywhere. Really good start in lane 5. That was Eva Acaro and also Abby Wood in 7, and 2 fabulous starts from these 2, technically brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, Eva's been working really hard on her start, and her 50 free start was a 6.0, which is incredibly fast. So if she's managed to translate that into the 100, I think we're on for a really fast race.
Well, she's going to be first to turn, and that's a really quick 50. 26.13. That's outstanding for Eva Acaro in lane 5. Now, can Freya Anderson come back off that? I think it's going to help Freya Anderson that Acaro's gone out quickly here. He's got 25 minutes to go in this final of the women's 100 metres freestyle. Right in the centre, Freya Anderson starting to move. She's got some work to do if she's going to go 53.55. She can do it, but she needs to bring it home. 5 5 metres to go. 53.55 she needs, and she's gone 54.09, 1/100th of a second ahead of Okaro. So they're just outside of that Singapore qualification time. The relay has made it though, and if the relay's made it, she goes, and that's fantastic news for Freya Anderson. The relay has qualified. The first 4 finishers, the times all added up together, and if it's faster than the qualification time that's set for that relay, then automatically all 4 fastest go, and they've done it by just under 1/10 of a second. I think it was 8/100ths of a second there underneath. So Freya Anderson joins the team. How happy are you?
Oh, that was incredible. I mean, Theodora Taylor, age 16, going such a huge PB and getting that 4th place. That's an incredible swim for her, and the rest of the team to get that time as well. What an incredible swim. And yeah, incredible swims by all 8 of them.
Well, I can tell you the full top 4. Freya Anderson first, second Eva Okaro, Freya Colbert third, and Theodora Taylor from Torvine Dolphins comes 4th, so she's on the relay to Paris. Dan Jervis, check that one out.
Yeah, I'm so happy for Theodora there. She trains at Torvine Dolphin Performance Centre down in Newport in a 25-metre pool. And we see the results of the women's 100-metre final. Freya Anderson taking the gold. Eva Okaro taking the second place. 0.01 behind first place. Freya Colbert in third, and Theodora, the 16-year-old, taking 4th.
Well, that is absolutely extraordinary. A 16-year-old on the team, Freya Anderson's on the team. It couldn't really have got any better for the British there, could it, Anna?
I mean, 6 people under 55. That's really, really strong swimming for the British team, and, you know, it's looking really good for the future. Having a 16-year-old on that team, absolutely incredible.
Oh, it's fantastic. I can't wait to hear Freya Anderson with Betty Glover.
What a race that was, and we can confirm that this is the 4x100 freestyle relay team for Singapore. Brilliant, brilliant race. And Theodora, I've got to come over and speak to you first. You're just 16 years old, and you did that from lane 8. How are you feeling?
So happy. I was definitely not expecting that, but it's a good way to round off a good week.
And what was the race like in your head?
My coach Tom's always told me focus on my own race, focus on my own lane, swim down the black line, and just stay focused on my turns. I've improved them from the morning, so I'm really happy.
Well, congratulations, well done. We're going to come over and talk to Freya Anderson now. Freya, well done. Really, really brilliant swim. Just missed out on that individual time, but you must be thrilled that you've got the relay time.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll take it. I always love doing the relay with these girls, and I've had a pretty rough week. Like the 200 was a mystery on Tuesday, but you know, I just had to keep being resilient and get my hand on that wall, and you know, I knew I needed to come top 4, so to take the top spot's pretty good.
Yeah, talk us through that resilience that you've had to sort of build upon.
Yeah, it's something I've always had to do my whole career. I've always had setbacks, but you know, that I couldn't let it throw me. I knew I had a job to do at the end of the week, so it was a bit agonising waiting from day 1 to day 6. But I had a great team around me to help me get through it and just keep my head on.
Well, you've done it, and you've done it with these girls because you're all going to Singapore. Give it up for Freya Anderson, Eva Okaro, Freya Colbert and Theodora Taylor.
Oh, I'm so pleased for those 4 women, and particularly, well, I suppose 2 of them. One of them is Freya Anderson. Just the relief must be massive. She finally got there after a bit of a horror show on the 200 to go, has missed the final. So to come back and do that there, I'm just delighted for her.
Yeah, I mean, that's great for Freya. I saw her after the 200, and she said to me, you know, it was a bit of a mystery, but to keep her head screwed on and get through it and get to the end of the week and produce such a fantastic time really shows how much resilience she does have. And I think she said there she's had a lot of setbacks, but she always comes back stronger.
Well, she certainly does, and there is the silver medal going to Eva Okaro. What a meet she's had. Gold on the 50 free, gold on the 50 fly, now silver on the 100, but so pleased. And look at this. Isn't this just wonderful?
Oh, and that's Freya's dad there, Ian Anderson, and lovely to see him presenting the medal to her. What a fantastic moment.
It really is. And Theodora Taylor, 16 years of age. She's only just turned 16. Wow. Who knew she was going to be on the team on the left-hand side there? Doesn't quite know what to do yet. Do you remember being that age and you just attack, trying to beat the big ones?
I don't think I was even racing at 16. Definitely not at this level. So, I mean, she has got a really exciting summer coming up, and I'm so thrilled for her that she's on that team.
Oh.
She's going to have such an amazing experience.
Now, sitting here in the commentary box watching the 100 metres freestyle, how do you feel? Do you feel like you'd like to be in there?
Oh, I mean, 12 years older than Theodora Taylor, which is quite scary sitting here, but don't know if I'll be able to keep up with her in a few years, to be honest, so not sure about that.
Oh, it's great to have you in the commentary box, and you've been wonderful today. You really have. Thank you so much for joining. Your insights have been really, really good. Hopefully you'll join us again.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to be here again, and it's been fantastic to see such fast swimming.
Anna Hopkin, British record holder, 100 metres freestyle, watching that 100 metres race unfold, and just had Freya Anderson walk past us. Straight into the men's junior final, 200 metres freestyle. Jacob Mills, the fastest seed. He goes in lane number 4 with Gabe Shepherd just outside of him in lane 5. In 3 is Sir Samuel Sutcliffe. And what a great junior final. This is going to be Jacob Mills. Silver on the 50 freestyle, silver on the 100 metres freestyle. There he is. He's a huge unit, and he's going to Singapore for, well, that men's 4x100 free relay. Sure, he'll get the 100 free as well. Sure, therefore, he'll get the 50 free. He's had an outstanding meet.
At 18 years of age, I'm looking forward to this race. I think he could break 150 here.
His lifetime best, Mills, is 150.26. That was in the heats this morning. What can you do tonight? Still learning every single time he gets in the pool. Gabe Shepherd's quick in 5, you know. So the junior final of the men's 200 metres freestyle. Sam Sutcliffe in 3 is not slow at all. In 4 it is a beautiful stroke of Jacob Mills, the 17-year-old. And then in lane 5, well, he started off very nicely here, Gabe Shepherd in the white hat. But that is Mills. The yellow hat right in the centre is Gabe Shepherd. Also going pretty quickly down this first 50 is Harry Milne of Repton in 7, and he's actually first to turn.
25.53 for that first 50. That is rapid. I hope he can pace this right, because otherwise that last 75, he's going to feel as if he's dragging a piano behind him.
Well, he started off well. It's a beautiful technical freestyle here. A slightly limpy stroke from that yellow hat in the centre, but by design, it's a beautiful stroke.
Absolutely. He's actually got a stroke very similar to mine. Now, I swim with a little bit of a limp. It was just the rhythm that I got in. It's obviously working for him.
It is working. It's working well. And first to turn at that 100 metres, it was Gabe Shepherd, 53.95. Second was Jacob Mills, just 7 100s behind.
Andy, if you look at the screen here, can you see how close Jacob Mills is swimming to the lane ropes next to Gabriel Shepherd? He's using him to ride his wave.
He really is. Look at that, right on that wave. And look up there in lane 3, Samuel Sutcliffe had a very strong third 50. Has he gone too early? This will be interesting to see who's got the speed now. The raw speed, well, by far the fastest is the 50 metres freestyle silver medalist. That's Jacob Mills, but has he got anything left in the tank? Look up there in 3, Sutcliffe going well.
Sutcliffe going well, but Jacob Mills really is pulling forward. But him and Hayden Annan is looking at each other right now in this last 10.
Well, 5 minutes to go in this junior final of men's 200 freestyle. Is Jacob Mills going to get it? He doesn't. Hayden Annan gets the touch. 150.06 and 150.08 for the top 2. 2 100ths of a second split the top 2, with Gabe Shepherd third in 150.4. So close. Oh my Lord. Wow. Unbelievable. They look exhausted, don't they? And there's the winner in that blue hat. That's Hayden Annan of World Tunbridge Wells Monson. Super swim from him.
Absolutely. Aged 18. That is phenomenal time. 150.06. If I was him and I'd done that at 18 years of age, I'd be sat in the lane rope fist pumping it. That was a 1.7 second PB from Hayden Annan.
Outstanding. So the result of the junior final, the men's 200 metres freestyle. Hayden Annan as you said, down a 1.7 second PB. 2 100s behind him is Jacob Mills of Repton. New lifetime best for him is 150.08. And Gabe Shepherd third in 150.41. First 3 juniors under 151. Wow. Gracious me. So fast. Well, that's fascinating to see Jacob's 200 metres freestyle. Very good indeed. So he's got a great 50, a great 100, and he can bring back a 200 as well. What a future he's got.
I just have to mention, Andy, Daniel Cavardi just came up to me and said distance belly does ache. Distance belly ache does exist. He said he felt it on that 200 then.
Yeah. You just sent him a message saying, come up to me and say that in front of the other commentator, so he believes you. The great news is, I'll never have to test it out. How much do I love that idea? Here we go. This is the para-final of the men's 200 metres freestyle, and apologies, Paul, straight over to you.
That's okay, guys. Fascinated by that. Anyway, here we are, the last para-final of the championships. It is multi-classification, but it's only the S14 swimmers who have qualified for this final. So it is a straight race, straight shootout between all of them. Mark Tomset, well, he has been on great form, setting those 2 records in the 100 backstroke earlier this week. Dylan Broom, cheered on by Dan Jarvis, thanks to me, Swansea University swimmer. Dylan will go in at lane number 5, but the world record holder, Will Ellard, Paralympic champion. He goes in the middle lane, in lane number 4. Well, Ellard, what a fantastic athlete Will Ellard is. What a great find he is for the GB team over the last couple of years. Final para event of the 200 freestyle. He goes in lane number 4, world record holder. He equalled his own world record in the 100 freestyle earlier this week, and he'll be the firm favourite for this one. All to play for the other medals, you would say. Dylan Broom probably is going to be the favourite for silver. Sure, he'll be able to live with the pace of Will Ellard. Will Ellard, what a fantastic competitor he is. He was bang on world record pace going through 150 this morning. Just faded in the closing stages. I mean, he was in that last heat of the 200 freestyle alongside Matt Richards. Para swimmers, quite often you see them in the early heats, but if they are fast enough, mixed in with the swimming athletes as well, and that's where Will Ellard was. Let's have a check of the split for Ellard. 25.86 inside world record pace yet again. When he went through that world record in Paris, it was 25.93, so he's just inside that. He went really fast in the early stages this morning and maybe paid for that. At 54.07, he's slightly off the pace he went this morning, but maybe he'll be able to bring it back a little bit better. Will Ellard, can his para events finish on a high? Dylan Broom in second place, Mark Tomset, swimmer from Bolton Metro, in third on either side of Will Ellard. Ellard already achieved that Singapore standard in the backstroke, only by 1/100th of a second. This is very much signature event for him. 1:23.43 at that turn, slightly off his record pace, but can he get under the qualification standard? He just missed out by 2/100ths this morning. He would love to come back under 1:54.34. He is coming now into the closing stages. The world record holder. Is he going to be inside 154.34? He's tying up, but he is inside it. Well done, Will Ellard. He achieves the qualification standard. Dylan Broom will take the silver, and a real fight for bronze won by Mark Tomset, just ahead of Cameron Burncoombe. It's all S14s. The points are irrelevant in terms of the result, but it does show 945 points for Will Ellard, a quality swim, and he's inside that qualification standard for Singapore. A couple of seconds outside his own world record, but he'd be pleased to dip under that standard. Well done, Will Ellard from Norwich Swan. Dylan Broom in second, and Mark Tomset in third. So it's another medal for the Welshman, Dylan Broom, and he goes under the 2-minute mark. He'll be delighted with that one, Dylan Broom. 1:58.38, just over the 2-minute mark. And there you see Will Ellard in the red cap. First came onto the scene in the GB team back in 2023 in the World Championships. Since then, he's gone on to take Paralympic gold in the 200 free and in the relay, a mixed freestyle relay. And he now claims the British title in a Singapore qualification standard. Will Ellard, 945 points, takes it ahead of Dylan Broom and Mark Tomset. Wow. He'll be delighted with that swim, and he's coming now to talk on poolside to Betty Glover.
What another brilliant race that was, and our British champion is Will Ellard. Will, brilliant race. You got the win, you've got the gold medal, and you've also got that Singapore consideration time. You must be thrilled with that.
Yeah, finished off the week with a 1:53, 2 seconds out my world record, so it didn't feel as hard as this morning because I had old Matt and Jack McMillan next to me. So, yeah, it didn't feel very hard, really. It's hard when you don't have anyone next to you right there. So, yeah, quite happy with it. And, yeah, going into next block of training, there's definitely more potential in there. And, yeah, I think no reason why I can't be going 149s and stuff like that in the summer. So, yeah, I'm in with that, and that's my next big goal, really. So.
You talk about more potential. Is that world record time that is your time? Is that something that you really want to try and crack in the summer?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't the best swim in the summer, but it's just having the experience, still quite young, so just having the experience, 151.3 in the summer, so yeah, should be able to get that down quite a lot and just enjoy a couple of days off and then get back to training. So.
Love it. Well, congratulations. Everyone give it up for Will, Dylan and Mark.
Oh, well done, Will Ellard. Be great to see him dip under the 150 mark, wouldn't it? Wow. For an S14 athlete, that's fantastic. He's had an up and down week by his own high standards, but, well, you can't deny the quality of Will Ellard. And there's his dad, Dave Ellard, making these presentations. Being a real supporter of his son, since I've known him over the last 2 or 3 years. Mark Tomset had a great week, achieving that qualification standard in the backstroke. Dylan Broom, a Welshman, very good time under the 2-minute mark. Well done, Dylan Broom. But there is the champion, Will Ellard, claiming that gold medal inside the Singapore consideration time. So well done, Will Ellard. Watch out for him in the future. Real star for the GB team. His dad making the presentations. And there are the final para medal winners this week.
Well, you get more fantastic swimmers from the para athletes. And as they leave the poolside, next race up is the men's 200 metres freestyle. And after the heats this morning, Betty caught up with Matt Richards and Jack McMillan.
Thanks for joining me, guys. That was a very interesting heat. It is absolutely stacked tonight, isn't it? Matt, you've already got that spot in Singapore, so how are you approaching this one?
Yeah, I mean, the same way I always do. I mean, it's nice having that pressure taken off, knowing I've got the swim already, but I want to make I want to make the most of the opportunity tonight, and I've come into this meet in a good place. I want to try and swim fast. I want to win the race, so just like everybody else, it's not going to be easy to do tonight, but it should be really good fun.
Yeah, Jack, talk to me about how you're feeling ahead of tonight. Really good heat, looked quite comfortable out there, but you're going to be wanting one of those individual spots.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a really fast race for the 200 free. It always has been, so it's good just to get in the mix again. And, there's no rest for anyone. It has to be back-to-back years. And we're trying to get our spot, and it should be really fun.
How are you going to approach it?
I'm going to approach it just like I always do, just, focus, and just try my best out there.
Well, good luck, both of you. Can't wait to see it.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you.
Are you excited, London?
Up to this big race that everybody is excited for. It's the men's 200-metre freestyle final. This is it, the last race of the British Championships. Now, we've been asking you at home to vote for what time you think will be the winning time. This is what you said. You can see it on the bottom left of the screen now. Now, we've done a little bit of number crunching and we've put it into our supercomputer to see what that says. This was the result. So 58% of you got that right. Well done. We will soon find out what will be the winning time. This one is absolutely stacked. Some Olympians and world champions going head to head. Andy Jameson and Dan Jervis, talk us through this one.
Well, the men's 200 metres freestyle is the one that everybody has been waiting for. Absolutely stacked. I think it is the most decorated field in British swimming history. And just to let you know, there are 8 Olympic gold medals between these 8 guys in this final. There's 15 Olympic medals between these 8 guys in the final. And I've got absolutely no idea where the gold, the silver and the bronze are going to go. This is going to be an extraordinary race. Dan, help me out here. What's going to happen?
Well, it's going to be very loud in this room. That's what's going to happen, Andy. There's going to be some fast swimming. Nothing is guaranteed in sport, but that is pretty much guaranteed.
And this ready really well. I tell you what, they're great mates out of it, but there's not an awful lot of chat going on in there now. And there's that gated chomp from Alexander Painter, 1:48.78. He's in lane 8. He's the slowest seed. He set a lifetime best to qualify for this final. He's been very unlucky so far. Very nearly made that men's 4x100 free team. And Jack McMillan in lane number 1. Here he is. Well, he's run the heats with that men's 4x2 free relay in Paris, which ended up going for gold and won the gold. So he has a gold medal from that heat swim. Olympic gold medalist in that 4x2 free relay. And this guy coming out next, he's only in 7. 6th fastest into this final. Olympic silver medalist on the individual 200 metres freestyle. Double Olympic champion on the 4x2. What a field. He's only 6th fastest qualifier. Matt Richards from Manchester in 7. Wow, this is just loaded. And look at this, his nerves going as well, shaking his arms coming out. Max Litchfield, 4th at the Olympic Games for his 3rd consecutive Olympics on the 400 IM. Litchfield goes in 2. And in lane number 6, well, the meat in a phenomenal sandwich is Evan Jones here. One side of him, Matt Richards, Olympic silver medalist. The other side, Duncan Scott, the most successful British Olympic swimmer in history, with 8 medals. Evan Jones in 6. And Tyler Melbourne Smith, what a lane he's got as well. Gold on the 800 metres freestyle. Lifetime best to qualify for this final. And the next lane to Jimmy Guy, the fastest seed, the triple Olympic gold medalist. Tyler Melbourne Smith in 3. And in lane 5, well, an absolute icon in British swimming. Duncan Scott, 8 times Olympic medalist. double Olympic champion on this men's 4x200 metres freestyle relay. And those 4 guys from the final have been pre-qualified for the World Championships. And here we go, another 3 times Olympic gold medalist in lane 4, Jimmy Guy. 2 on the 4x2 free relay from Tokyo and from Paris. And also on that Tokyo mixed medley relay that won gold in a new world record. 15 Olympic medals between them, 8 of them gold. The final of the men's 200 metres freestyle, the most decorated final in British swimming history. Dan Jervis, tell me, help me, what's going to happen here?
We're just going to see some fast swimming from all these boys here. We see Tyler Melbourne Smith, the 20-year-old, jammed in between Max Litchfield and James Guy. He's going to have to stay with them boys, and he's going to have a minute to him.
That is James Guy, and he looks very good. That's Duncan Scott, and he means business. 1 swimmer's already been pre-selected. Pre-selection conditions, if you win an Olympic medal individually, you go. That was Matt Richards, won the silver on this 200 freestyle. So there's 1 place left. The highest finisher that's not Matt Richards. I'm absolutely sure they'll go under the qualification time, whoever they are. So let's forget about that. The fastest finisher, the best finisher outside of Matt Richards, will pick up that 2nd spot in this individual 200 metres freestyle for the World Championship team this summer. What a final. It's the final.
Take your marks.
It's an absolutely brutal event in the British swimming calendar. It's the final of the men's 200 metres freestyle, and it's a fabulous start in lanes 7 and 8. And Matt Richards, he's gone off in 7 very, very quickly. He's right next to Painter in 8, the sprinter. I didn't expect this tactic from Matt Richards. I wonder if the rest of the field are expecting it as well, Dan.
Yeah, we do expect to see Matt come back like an absolute train, but going out like a train, as he just did, 23.65. That is rapid.
Oh my word, this is just phenomenal. 0.6 faster than he went last year at the trials. Also going well in the middle is Jimmy Guy. Now, has Duncan Scott seen them? Look at this. Duncan Scott in 5, James Guy in 4, those 2 in the yellow lines. But look how far ahead Matt Richards is. Oh my word, 49.8 to his feet. Well, the British record was set at 50.4, 6/10 of a second inside the British record. And the charge now coming, and Duncan Scott has seen him. Duncan Scott in the black hat in lane 5's definitely seen him.
Duncan chasing him down here on this last 70 metres. Matt breathing to the right, so he cannot see Duncan right now, but he will on the way back. This is going to come down to the last inch.
Well, I thought Jimmy Guy might have been done there, but never writes off Jimmy Guy in lane 4. Matt Richards' turn was awesome. If he can bring this back, he's going to win it. A British record is definitely on here, but what a race for the 2nd place. At the moment, it is Matt Richards. He's already going. Who's going to get the touch here? In 4 at the top of those 2, it's James Guy. Duncan Scott coming as well. 4 and 5. Guy and Scott. 4 and 5. Guy and Scott. Who's going to get the touch? It's James. Oh, no! What do we do about that? Oh, no! Oh, my word! It's a tie! The fastest of the 2 was going to go, and they just tied. What on earth are we going to do? The selection policy was if you win in the time you go, but Matt Richards is pre-selected, so there was 1 place left, and the winner has just tied. Oh no, what are they going to do? The selectors have just become 2 feet tall from 10 feet tall. James Guy and Duncan Scott tie for first, 1:45.08, with a really gutsy swim from Matt Richards in 3rd and Jack McMillan 4th. Wow, I cannot believe it. I've no idea what they're going to do now. The 2 Singapore qualifications, they're looking at each other going, what happens? Zan Jervis, can you believe that just happened?
No, I can't. We always knew that this was going to be a rapid race. That's a given in the men's 200 freestyle in Great Britain, but it's not often that you see double gold in this. Honestly, that was so good to watch.
Well, those two guys, I cannot believe what's just happened. James Guy's got 4 Olympic medals, 3 of them gold. Duncan Scott's got 8 Olympic medals, 2 of them gold. So between them, they've got 5 Olympic gold medals. They've got 12 Olympic medals, and they've just tied for first when there's only 1 spot left. What are they going to do about that selection? What a cracking race that was.
Fantastic. That was such a good race. And Andy, I'm glad I'm not selected in this meet, but they all do have a smile on their face. We are looking right at them right now, and they look pretty happy up there.
Well, they're great mates, and you know, the fireworks and the fire and the tension. Look, he's just going, oh my goodness. The fire before that race was on. They really are super friends, all 4 of them. That men's 4x2 free relay. I mean, they got on wonderfully well. They won in Tokyo, they won the gold. They won in Paris, they won the gold. And now the top 3 there, all on that relay pre-selected, but there was 1 slot left for the individual, and the winner was going to go, and there's only 1 of them can, and it's tied. Right-hand side of that shot, the Olympic silver medalist, well, he's going, but who is going to get that second spot? Betty Glover worked that one out for us, no idea.
Well, first of all, everybody give it up for the most stacked final in British swimming history, because what a final that was. Okay, so we know Matt Richards has already got that spot in Singapore. We don't quite know what happens when 2 people win gold, so we're sort of looking at the selectors, getting a nice little wave there. But what was your reaction, Duncan, when you looked up there and saw that 2 of you had won gold?
I think it's more than that, you know. Me and Jim have been racing for so long, and pleasure always going head to head in the last event. You know, you're always thinking about it the whole week, and you know, there's probably a lot more on the line last year, and you know, this one it was, I guess, a little bit more fun, but also that added pressure. You know, I was just really happy to be in there. You know, I didn't quite know where I'd be at this meet. I think I've surprised myself quite a lot, and yeah, I'm really happy. I was just happy to kind of be involved there, to be honest. So yeah, buzzing with that.
I just want to get your reaction. Before we speak to Jimmy Guy, I just want to get your reaction. What was your reaction when you saw this guy next to you going off so fast?
I mean, yeah, he can swim it so many different ways, and you know, world champion, Olympic silver medalist in this event. So, you know, I think that's the special thing with the field is, you know, it can come from so many different places. You know, some guys will go out fast and come back, and I think that's why it's such a good event to watch, but also be a part of. So, yeah, you know, like he was using his strengths, and you know, that's the beauty of the event.
Matt, I think you went out at 49.8.
Maybe a little bit too quick. Yeah, that was always the plan tonight, was to try something different. You know, with that pre-selection, it kind of meant that we could try swimming in a way that I'd not done before. I can probably confirm I won't be doing that again in the summer, but yeah, it's painful, but good lesson learned.
Well, let's talk to Jimmy Guy then. Let's move over here, because joint gold, did you enjoy that?
You know what, I feel like we always say the 203 is the best event to last, and you know, going head to head with these boys, tying with Duncan, one of my good mates, and as you said, we've raced for so many years. Obviously Matty going out like a maniac. You know, that's all part of the fun, and you know, you never predicted us to win gold together. You know, I'd like to have gone under the 145, but you know, to go on my best again at my age, I think it's pretty good.
I think that is very, very good. Everybody give it up for these 3 phenomenal athletes, and what a way to end the British Championships.
Well, I'm still speechless, breathless. It's just one of the greatest races, and with 15 Olympic medals among them, 8 of those medals are gold. We do know that the men's 4x2 has been pre-selected, which is James Guy, Duncan Scott, Matt Richards, and also Tom Dean, who wasn't in that field. And we don't really know what's going to happen on that selection for the individual place, the second individual place. We do know that here, Matt Richards, he will go on the right-hand side there because of his Olympic individual silver medal. We don't know who's going to get that second spot. But what I do know is that they may well take us an extra swimmer. So the four that I named, James Guy and Duncan Scott, equal first. Third there was Matt Richards. But we may well get another swimmer to swim the morning heats of the World Championships. And Jack McMillan was the fastest of those not pre-selected, so it may well be that he goes as well. But at least one of them, Evan Jones, was next, 1:46.4. In fourth was very quick. Evan Jones was fifth. So there could well be selections. Look at that, that's great. Well, there is T-shirts fired out of a cannon at the start of the session, and somebody in the crowd catches one, the last one. He gets to present the medals to that final. Isaac Robinson just had that honour. How lovely was that? He did a super job. What a way to finish this meet. One of the greatest 200 metres freestyles that I've ever seen in domestic competition. The two guys on the left there tied for the gold. And Duncan Scott, Olympic silver in Tokyo on this 200 freestyle, to Tom Dean, Olympic silver medal in Paris on the right-hand side, just going out of that shot. And two signatures on the superstar board here for that men's 200 free. Two Singapore qualifying times for those two guys who finished first. Oh, I can't believe it. The whole thing, the way Matt Richards there in the centre went out in under 50 seconds. I'm never going to do that again. I'm not surprised. Oh, the pain. But what a race. And these guys, fantastic friends outside of the pool. They really are. Here's Duncan Scott, the second most medalled British athlete in Olympic history with 8, the most successful British swimming Olympian ever with 8 medals, 2 of them gold. Well, absolutely brilliant. Well, I can't wait to hear the thoughts of Betty Glover and Dan Jervis in the studio now. Let's go over to them and see what they have to say.
Thanks so much, Andy. Brilliant job commentating on that one, because, wow, what a 200-metre free final. That was unbelievable, Dan.
Oh, it was crazy. We always knew that was going to be the best race of the week. I think we can pretty much say that for certain. But Betty, I don't know about you, I feel like I need to go for a run. I'm exhausted.
Why would you go for a run if you're exhausted?
I've got so much adrenaline, but honestly, it was so tiring to watch.
Do you know what is so funny is because we were thinking about Singapore and qualifying. We knew that there was only one place because obviously Matt Richards already had that first place in the men's 200 free at Worlds. So we knew one person could get that second place. We never thought it would be double gold. And when that happened, I just looked up at the selectors. I looked up at Chris Spice and their heads were in their hands. They were like, what do we do now?
Well, all I can say is I'm glad I'm not a selector, but they did all have pretty big smiles on their face because all 3 boys there, every person in that race had a fantastic race there.
You've been around swimming for a very long time. You've watched countless 200-metre free finals and the men's at the end of the British Championships. Where does that rank?
Number 1. Hands down number 1. That was so good. That was so exciting to watch. We didn't know who was going to win with like a metre left. And that's, for spectating, that is what you want to see in a race.
Yeah, it was wonderful. And all the seats were full here at the London Aquatics Centre. So all these people got treated to that. Everyone at home got to watch that. A ridiculous final. That was the most decorated final in British swimming history. That just goes to show how strong this men's side is, isn't it?
I think there was 8 Olympic golds in that race. There's 8 lanes.
Can you imagine if Tom Dean was in that as well? Because he's going to be added in Singapore, so...
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, Tom is a phenomenal athlete as well, and he chose not to do the 200 freestyle in this British Championships this year, but he's going to be on that team, obviously.
Well, we handed out 10 gold medals today on the last day of these British Championships. Do you have a favourite? Oh, sorry, 11 gold medals, because we just had double gold.
I can't pick. Actually, Ollie Morgan, that was probably one of my favourite races.
Ollie Morgan has been so impressive these British Championships, hasn't he? What do you think he can go on and achieve at Worlds?
Oh, the world's his oyster. I mean, there's a few...
Literally.
Literally. I mean, he's had some phenomenal swims, and yet there's still things that he knows he can improve on, especially that finish, you know. As he was talking about that in the 100 backstroke. I said before, didn't I? I think he can become world champion. What could he do? We don't know.
Yeah, well, some brilliant racing. 11 golds handed out on the final day. If you've been watching all week, then thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute privilege to bring you this incredible sport. Keep your eyes on it, people, because it is phenomenal. And hopefully, Worlds will be phenomenal as well. Thank you so much to Andy Jameson as well for his commentary. And also to you, Dan Jervis, a debut in that commentary box. That's all right, isn't it?
Oh, diolch yn fawr, Betty. And I just have to say to you, phenomenal job this week. Honestly,
we love the word phenomenal over here.
We do, yeah. Amazing. It's been so great to work with you.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to all of our guests. And thank you for watching at home. What a way to end. Double gold. That's all right, isn't it? See you later.